Hello, welcome back. Is my theme playing on this page? It is, okay. It was just very quiet to me, I didn't hear it. But, welcome. Yeah, it's been a bit since I've done my double demo dive. And I missed it. And I wanted to check out other mystery games, because that's what I do around here. I like playing mystery games. I like being mysterious and seeing mysteries and being mysterious and looking at mysteries. So we're going to be looking at a couple of games today. And by that I mean the literal couple. Two. We're going to be looking at Game of Fate and Burden of Truth. Now, Game of Fate is an FMV game. Along the lines of the Centennial Case Shijima Story, which is a very, very good FMV mystery game. If you've not played that, highly recommend. That is some grade A storytelling there. I love that to death. Pretty sure that got ranked pretty highly on my mystery game tier list. That's definitely more of a movie game, which I expect this might end up being as well, but we're gonna see. So I'm gonna move this over. I'll give you a good look. You can hear the oh, sorry. Just get my water ready. You know me. Alright, I just lost that cap. I dropped it and I have no idea where that rolled off to. Fine, I'm not going to knock over this water. It's not going to be Chekhov's water. We'll be okay, we'll be fine. Let me move this over real quick. Now, let me just test real quick. I gotta see how the audio sounds on stream. Kind of hard to tell with it, but I might be able to get away with turning it up a little bit. If you guys... Let me... I'll just keep an eye on it. If it gets too loud, I'll adjust it where need be, but this should be fine. Where it is right now. Just barely peeking the yellow. So, we're gonna hop right in. We're gonna have a little look-see. We're gonna sneak a little peek. And, yeah, we're gonna have a great time. So, let's just hop in. Why am I not reacting like a PNG? Hold on. Yeah, you, Mr. Fugi Tech. Why aren't you bouncing? I just noticed that. It discheeses me. Give me a second. Let me fix that. If you're watching on YouTube, skip right ahead. Banish this from your thoughts. Oh, is it because I was not signed in? Is that what it was? Are we bouncy now? I don't look bouncy. I'm looking very unbouncy right now. It's discheesing me. Hello? Testing? Where is my... I want to bounce. What's the point of this if I'm not bouncing? Excuse me. What are we doing here if I ain't a bouncy lad? That's what everyone's here for, to see me bounce. On now. If I reset it. I switch to that. Ba ba ba. Maybe if I leave and come back. Blah blah blah. No, he's not bouncing. Why is he not bouncing anymore? What's going on here? Well, hold on. What if I add a new source that is equally as mischievous? Again. My reactive PNG ain't reacting. What's going on here? Is this happening on anyone else's stuff? Well, let me check my dear friend real quick. Yeah, I'm seeing other people bounce. Why can't I bounce? The hell? Oh well, you know, whatever. No bounce. No bounce. It's fine. We're chilling. I'm gonna go in. Game of state. Fuck. Just start it now. Go, get in. Tarot cards? Oh, I need the official version. Hyperspace. Manuscript. Holy shit! You hear that lightning? That was loud as fuck. Ranking? Wait, there's a ranking system? I didn't know this. Oh good, I can adjust the... Oh my god! Here, I can adjust it to a proper sound, at least. Oh my god, why is that so loud? Okay, that controls the lightning blast from God. That's not like a good range to test it off of though, because I'm assuming video is gonna be for like voices and stuff. I don't know. Okay, maybe a little bit lower. Okay, that this should be fine. This should be okay. Let's hop in.
学长，嘿，学长，学长，
What's happening?
醒醒！
我今天睡了多久啊？
你可能是太累了，刚才睡了一小会儿。走吧，学长。
好，走吧。
走啊。
Did I download the wrong game? What is this? Recall the campus walk with, is it Zhu? I forget if Q is, I got an achievement. Stop looking at me. Where's the mystery? Okay, well, this is wholesome. What is this?
真希望时间永远停留在这里。
Who are those two evil people over there?
一会儿我们还得回实验室干活呢。
Three
后天气
evil
就要进
people.
入实验阶段了。
Oh, it's evil?
小雅，小雅，小雅！
Yeah. Oh, the storm took her. She got taken by the fucking storm. 2019. Who are you?
你醒了？关于邱小姐的事情，请节哀顺变。
好。
那接下来我们有些问题需要你回答，需要时间整理一下思绪吗？
没关系，您直接问吧，警察同志。
第一个问题，你和邱小姐私下接触多吗？
Oh, okay. So we have... Actually, what is the camera? Oh, I can take screenshots at any time. Okay, that's interesting. Maybe I turn down the voice a smidgen. A smidgen. I feel like I need to... God, is that... Hold on. That is... Oh, God. So if I want the music high, I need to... Oh, God. It's gonna be loud. He's my girlfriend.
"她是我女朋友。
你还好吧？
没事。
Now, boss, I okay.
邱女士去世的时候，手里紧紧地攥着这个手机，你知道这是什么吗？
这
学长，
What's happening?
实验已经进入最后阶段啦。
是我们的实验，如果没有你的超导新材料，我做不到的。你看你，
Superconducting? What are we talking about?
你都快成了大熊猫了。
如果这个实验成功了，这个事情在整个学术界将都是大新闻。哦，对了，
Where the mystery's hiding.
小雅，你居然将坐标上的量子纠缠具象化了，你太棒了！
wait. She made quantum entanglement visible?
实践学长的理论啊，只要这2个粒子在坐标上牵上手，
信息就成功传递了。一旦我们成功，
Oh my god.
就牵起了手。
She get quantum entangled? This is our test subject.
这是他帮我保管的试验品，
试验品。
是我们一起做的
The
一个量子
bomb.
理论验证项目。
那有没有可能因为这个项目的成果与一些人产生利益纠纷或者矛盾呢？
没有，如果成功，那是一个能改变过去的实验。但是可惜，那根本就是一个失败的项目。
能改变过去？
Change the past?
是啊，可惜从没成功过。否则，小雅，
那你们最后一通电话
What happened to your mic?
讲的是什么？方便说吗？
Fuck, I'm sick of this. Oh, wait, hold on. He's drinking a brewski? Never mind. My god.
喂，小雅，你还在实验室呢？外面雨这么大，我马上来接你。
当然没有啦，学长，我在路上呢。刚才在实验室。
别说了，是我没用，实验永远都不成功，我永远做不到。
先听我说完啊，学长，这次实验。
小雅怎么了？小雅，小雅！
The lightning man took her. I don't know. She didn't hear clearly.
当时信号不好，我没听清，雨声太大了。
明白了。好，我要问的问题问完了。没什么问题的话，在这签个字。
My first name? Oh shit, we can sign this however we want? Oh. We'll have to do, well, last name will usually be first anyway, because we're Chinese, right? I think that's how it works. I don't know if that's just a Japanese thing or not. Might be horrifically racist right now. Let's see. My name is Kilowatts. Fry Girl. Yeah, Fry Girl Kilowatts. That's my name. Oh my floor beers. I love my giant. Click to get a clue. What is that?
这是谁留下来的？
What does it say?
这是谁留下来的？
Do I get a screenshot of that?
昨晚又喝大了，都有谁啊？哎，算了算了，记不起来了。
I don't remember who we were drinking with.
小雅，
Using her left hand there.
谁啊？
生日快乐！
外面下这么大的雨，你还赶过来啊？
Fry Girl, thank you.
哎呀，你生日嘛，我总得。
Oh, today's my birthday. Oh, she's displeased with me.
我才多久没来呀？怎么又乱七八糟的？
Is that the same girl?
还喝了那么多的酒，你不是跟我说你不会再喝酒了吗？那你是不是？
Babe, you can't stop me from booze cruising. Come on.
那好啊，你督促啊。
Whoa.
哎，
道歉，我可是认真跟你说的。今天给你过完生日，你不能再推了。你还记不记得我们的约定？
A commitment? What was the commitment? By all means, tell me. I grant the beer to the world. Whoa! That's a lot of good beer you just wasted.
危险！
Oh, Jesus Christ.
先生，你为什么想不开呀？
啊？
Because I spilled my beer.
为什么要跳桥呀？
我要跳桥？
不是要跳桥，是要干什么？你放心，我是记者，你有什么困难的话跟我说，我可以帮你借助媒体的力量。
The power of the media?
谢谢，你帮不了我。
我为什么帮不了你啊？
我是做科研的。
等会儿，你是要讲故事吗？
是啊。
你要讲故事的话，分为篇。
好啊，拿吧。那我继续了。我是做科研的，我倾注所有心血，在一个可能改变世界的项目上。
I'll only give you the information. You ripped the whole tab off?
但有一个女孩一直在我身边陪着我，哪怕牺牲她自
Oh,
己的
that's
时间和
different
兴
than
趣。
what I'm usually
那
used
你
to
很
seeing.
幸福呀。
可我那个科研项目最终完全是
Stop looking at me like that, you freak.
那个女孩，也因为我的过失，刚刚过了世。
Yeah, luckily this girl was here for us at Beer Toss Bridge.
节哀啊，好惨呀！你跟我一样惨。
怎么了？
有一个王八蛋，本来今天他生日，我从外地飞回来就想给他过个生日，结果呢，我看到他跟前任好了。虽然我知道这样很幼稚，我也没必要，因为他难受嘛。但我的确有点难受。
没事吧你？
没事，但是我因
Sorry,
为
you heard that. I'm
他
trying
错
to
过了。
see if I can fix my
我老板给
reactive.
了我一个大新闻，我还被处分了。
好了，别喝了。
我不喝了。
What's happening?
哎，别！
Do not!
你干嘛？
你不是说你不火了吗？
我就随便一说，你干嘛抱我呀？道歉。
好好，对不起，对不起。今天是谁开导谁啊？
今天
Yo, what is happening in this game? I feel like I'm like losing my mind.
这样吧，我陪你喝酒，我这里有很多啤酒。
啤酒啊？
怎么了？
啤酒就啤酒，喝就喝。今天谁把这些啤酒喝完，谁就是世界上最幸福的人。
Oh, she's got some good
把
ideas.
这些事情全部忘掉。
好，干杯！
She might be making a lot of sense right now.
Oh. 你还打算喝多少？
Drink until the end of time. We have a sick ass polar bear stand over there too? How can we be sad? We don't even need a girlfriend. We have the sick ass polar bear, like, beer holder over there.
但你不是答应我你不会再喝酒了吗？你什么时候才能再振作起来呀？
来，继续喝酒吧。
Yeah, yeah. The drunk run.
再来啊，来。
Yeah, we're just slamming back cans.
“小雅真可爱呀，怪不得你忘不掉她。
其实， 今天还是他去世的第5年。他在来给我庆生的路上出车祸了。我这辈子都没法原谅自己。
I'll never forgive.
我每年生日都是他的忌日。我真的。
Aw, hug.
但是小雅在天上不想看到你这样，还有我陪着你呢。
他只是想来给我过个生日，还说着给我准备个惊喜。
I've been told this is a mystery game. I'm beginning to have my doubts.
小雅的遗物我已
I'm
一直
beginning
留
to
着
think this may not be a mystery game after all. Someone has lied to me along the way.
很多回忆啊。
对不起，我不该跟你说这些。
没关系。
Where?
我还有事，那我先回家了。有什么事打电话给我。
Thanks, you're a real one.
小雅，是我对不起你。
What's that? What's the secret pouch?
我记得，这是小雅最后留给我的东西。
She's like, oh. What's that?
这是我们之前做实验的手机。5年以来，我一直没有勇气打开小雅的遗物。
There it is, the quantum entanglement.
这么多播出记录，
学长实验测试的第3天。
看来小雅
虽然有
帮
点
我做了很多次
实
实验。
相信你一定会成功的。哎，今天是陪学长实验测试的第5天，比之前的数据好那么一点点，但我觉得我们还需要很长时间的一个推算和计算。不用沮丧，无论如何，我一直陪在你身边。
又失败了。
没关系的，我们可以慢慢再来。
Yeah, you're
试
right.
了那么多种方法，怎么都失败了呀？是不是这实验从一开始就没结果了？
学长，你
Hi, girl
是不是
senior.
压力太大了？我们出去玩一玩，放松一下吧。
Oh, he's so glum.
学长，其他的事交给我吧，手机暂时放在我这里，你就不用管了，我来帮你继续测试。我相信总有一天我们可以和未来通上话的。
难道
This is like
这是
Diet
小雅打过
Steins
来的
Gate.
电话？这么一说，实验成功了！成功了！小雅，真的是你，真的是你吗？小雅，小雅，我们今晚别见面，会有车祸。
说什么？
我来自5年后，相信我，别和过去的我见面，今晚留在家中，好吗？
好，学长，我相信你。喂，
Holy shit, we just Steins Gator.
学长，你听得到吗？
Ugh. What happened? My home is different.
小雅，你真漂亮，要不是为了我，我多想再见到你一次。不对，这是什么时候拍的照片？我之前从来没见过。发生了什么？为什么和我的记忆都不太一样？
Stupid photo, I hate you. Oh my god, hold on, my dumbbells got bigger.
是壮点了吗？我大学时很爱健身，哑铃也是那会儿买的。但小雅离开后，我再没碰过她呀。
I'm even more yoked now.
我什么时候养花了？这不是小雅最喜欢的雏菊吗？她说这花代表希望。谁啊？
Who is it? Okay, is this like a dating sim? What is this game?
我没睡醒吗？不确定，我再看看。
学长，
我做了一个不吉利的梦，梦里你出了车祸，我怕我再也见不到你了。
傻学长，梦怎么可以当真呢？不过说起车祸，我记得5年前你生日的时候，在通讯器里的电话留言说什么出门会有车祸，所以那天我就没敢出门。
是昨天我打去的电话。
什么？
哦，咱们之前的实验还在做吗？
学长，你怎么忘记了？后来虽然我们做了一段时间的实验，但一直都没有成功，所以后来我们就不做了。
We canceled it.
对了，不过后来你一直让我把这个通讯器带在身上。
小雅，你拿给我看一下。
嗯。
小雅，这个先放我这吧。
等等，
I mean, it worked though. You got a call from 5 years in the future.
昨天通讯器一直在我手上，我根本就没有发，这是怎么回事
Holy moly!
学长，你醒醒！学长，
Where's the fucking mystery game? Tell her the truth.
小雅很担心，我是不是不应该隐瞒她？
学长，你醒醒！
我知道很不可思议，但在我的记忆里，小雅你因车祸死在了5年前那个暴雨夜。昨晚，我给过去发起了通讯，接听的人是你。一觉醒来，现实被改变，你活了下来。我的记忆还停留在你死去的那个现实。虽然找回了你，但我好像没有这5年的记忆。小雅，这5年和你在一起的事儿，我一点都不记得了。
What? No. Right, girl.
所以
What was that?
5年前的那条消息是你发出来的。你刚才说的那个梦根本就不是梦，而是曾经发生过的事实。
别怕，我再也不会让你出事了。
我根本就不怕死，我只是在想，这5年你是怎么熬过来的？
I didn't do too good, dog. Keep it real.
没有你的日子确实很难熬。我开始变得酗酒、焦躁，屋子里没有花，满地都是酒瓶。
你太傻了，你不该为了我。
别说5年，就是50年我也愿意。
我明白，这种感觉，我懂。
小雅，
The jumps need to stop.
我认识了一个叫程凌威的记者。我一直拿失去你的借口来麻痹自己，放纵堕落自己。
A degenerate.
他一直在照顾我，陪我度过了这几年艰难的日子。
还好，这几年你不是一个人。
我常跟他提起你，我想带你去见见他。
好啊，
他一直好奇你是什么样的。
我也好想见见他。
He doesn't know us in this timeline, you dummy.
小雅，你真好。那我给他打电话，咱们一起去吃大餐。
Oh my god.
学长，怎么
She's
啦？
not there.
我找不到林威的电话号码了，是因为通讯器改变了过去，才会导致。
This can't
现在
be.
不认识林威吗？
I'm chilling with you. I don't fuck her.
哎，咱们改天再去找林威吧，今天我就安心陪着你吧。
真的啊？哎， 那你今天可要听我的安排，我帮你把丢失的记忆全部都找回来，怎么样？
好啊，你又有什么鬼点子？
不告诉你，我先去换衣服啦。
你得快点啊！
知道啦。
Yeah, where's my mystery game? I'm gonna get put like on a list or something because of this game. I feel like
怎么样？
someone's gonna like tune in for like half a
学
second,
长，你
see
觉得怎么样？
schoolgirl outfit,
我
and
觉得
fucking
先
run to
别
the
说
hills.
我再去换一套，等着。等我。
It is a fit though, I gotta admit. It's a nice fit. They got some good dresses for her. I ain't gonna lie. They look nice.
这件怎么样？是不是很淑女？哎，还有一套哦。等
You
着
got，another? We got another fit? How much of the budget was put
很
on?
快的。
Well, you better change out of those fucking dumbass looking sneakers. Nah, okay, come on now.
学长，你觉得
Is the mystery where the mystery game is? Do we have to solve the mystery of where the
哪一件更
the
值得
mystery
我
is?
拿
I like the dress. Nice.
走，
The arcade.
地方变得这么豪华，
Is this? Did I just get boomed? Is this a dating
记得
sim?
小时候吗？你最喜欢来这里释放压力了。可是那个时候我不擅长运动，只能给你加油喽。
Maybe I just got boomed.
那现在呢？我是不是进步很大呀？
小雅，你好棒啊！
I want LeBron James to come on and off screen.
我也很希望你
Please
在
allow
此
me.
的领域发光发热。不过呢，我也很喜欢你在这里释放自由的状态。
小雅，你真好。
哎，我们要不也玩一局篮球比赛，看看谁输就小小的惩罚一下，怎么样？
好啊，来呗。
No, I'm beating you. I ain't holding back. You think I am?
啊，不行不行！啊！好吧，学长，我愿赌服输。
The mystery is how good at basketball I am.
闭上眼睛。
什么惩罚还要闭上眼睛吗
哎？呀，快闭上！
What am I playing? What the? We had the clown nose ready?
真可爱。
学长，这是什么呀？这样看起来会不会很奇怪？
才不会，很可爱，就这样带着。
I thought he went Hong Kong for a second. What is this game?
愿赌服输了。
Someone lied to me along the way. She's still wearing the clown nose? You're a cheater.
你在
Put it
想
back
什么
on.
呀？
啊，我在想，昨天他是怎么接通的？
Is that cheese? No, they're just apples.
学长，那你还想继续实验吗？
This is Steins Gate, but there were no drawbacks and everything was
但
perfect.
这毕竟是我们的心血。虽然我成功的找回了你，我还是隐隐有些担心。我只想先尽快搞清楚通信的条件。
应该和时间没关系。其实我们已经多次尝试同时间发出通讯了。
通讯器
No, we can't just have the arcade, like, Steph Curry balling scene and then just go into
这里面的干扰
discussing
因素实在是
time
太
travel
多了
and time alteration.
我们已经尝试了5年了。
所以要找出什么变量是可控的。
我记得5年前你生日，是和
What am I watching? Apparently a mystery game.
难道
Allegedly a mystery game.
是下雨？
还有雷，还有狂风。我知道了，是雷暴天气。7月3号那天，是你拿着通讯器。
对，4号以后，我们每天都在尝试着和未来通讯，机器每天都是开着的。
要查一下4号以后的雷暴日子。你看，
What's happening?
画红圈的就是雷暴天气。
学长，你确定要建立联系吗？这么做的话，可能会改变过去。
No, I'm pretty happy. Let's keep shit as it is. You're back from the dead?
现在就很好啊，这已经是最好的结局了。上天给了我们一次重新再来的机会，我们一定要珍惜。
I don't give a shit about Chung Lin Wei. I'm not going back for her.
接下来守护你，就是我的使命了。
Cherish the person in front of you. Hey. What are the claim a rose? The fuck does that? What does that mean? What is? Wait, there are like a bunch of little changes that can happen. Oh man, I'm missing all the details, I guess. The Cherish Her ending. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I really don't care enough to... What even is... Why are there like rewards and stuff? I don't think this game is what I thought it was gonna be. I'm gonna have to give that a hard pass. We're gonna move to the next game. I don't know, should I go for the endings? Should I get the goofy endings? Hold on. Let me try. Let me try. I'll go through and get some bonus stuff.
了解的事情。
I can fast forward it, so it's not too bad.
她只是我的学妹。
明白了。
Yeah, I don't know her.
邱女士去世的时候，
学长，恭喜你的。
Get away from me. Ordinary phone.
这是我的手机，落在她那里了。
这是一个很特别的手机啊。
哦，样子奇怪罢了。
那你们好。
Okay, did the timeline change? Yeah, then she's gonna come in, we're gonna chill. And we're gonna have more schizophrenic flashbacks. Dance with her.
你干嘛？
没什么，我跟你一起跳啊。
我又不认识你，你干嘛跟我一起跳？
做了鬼就认识了，多个朋友没坏处啊。
神经病！
今天是谁开导谁啊？
Yeah, it goes the exact same way. We'll just relax a bit. We'll drink a little bit to relax.
我们小酌怡情吧。
哦，怎么突然转了性子啦？
我听你的。
This ain't a mystery game. I'm gonna have to officially... I don't even know if I can call this a video game.
干杯！
This feels like a Yakuza, like, sub-story thing. What, you can't handle beer? What's the matter with you?
蛋糕。
Don't fuck it. What? Don't lick it off the fucking spatula. What's the matter with you? You sick fuck? Hell nah, no, we wiping that clean first. You ain't licking off the spatula and then feeding me with it. You sick monster.
你的眼睛好好看啊。
Your eyes are beautiful.
真的吗？
No, I lied. This is a porn game.
你再看看，
I've been fooled.
你的眼睛好大，
真的吗？
真的。
你真棒啊！
哎呀，你别闹。哎呀，
Damn, he killed her. Kiss her. Why not? This looks like porn. If you join in now, this looks like porn. I can't even. Where's the mystery? Damn, okay, yeah, get in there. I've forgotten her death and I've chosen to be with the reporter.
我带着林薇来看你了。
小雅，真希望你在我们身边。
以后
Look at that, we get 2 timelines of good endings.
我们也会带着你最喜欢的花来看你的。
You wife, you will not be struck by lightning like my other. Heartthrob. Awesome. What do those 2 endings even like affect really?
那你们最后一通电话，
他说他要过来给我过生日。
I guess I'll you know what? It doesn't seem to be taking too long. I'll get the
也
other
就是
ones.
说，他是来在给你过生日的路上遭遇车祸去世的。
是
you
我害
okay?
了他。
It is.
好，我要问的问题问完了。
It's true. That's all your fault. Completely 100% your fault, sir. Okay, yeah. What's the mystery here? There's a mystery question. So I need to get the top one. Do I just need to answer it all correctly? No, because that led to the my name thing. Watch where you step, and I'm trying to. How do I get the mystery ending there? Why am I getting invested in this now? I shouldn't be. Try with this one.
邱女士，
No, it's our test subject. You know me with my quantum entanglement.
好，
Get away from me. So how do I get the mystery question? Do I need to answer this one truthfully too? She is my girlfriend. Oh, yeah, get away from me. Get out of my face. I thought I did a run where I answered this all correctly. Celebrate my birthday.
我知道那种失去很重要的人的感觉。
Are you gonna hit on me, cop?
总之，你先好好休息。你说你的实验有可能改变过去，如果是我的话，有机会改变过去，我是一定会去做的。
Who are you talking to?
好，我要问的问题问完了。字，
The fuck's going on, man? Where's the mystery game? I know it's in here somewhere. It has to be. I can date the cop? Didn't realize this was an option. Avoid her kiss. Women scare me. No kissing.
来，接着喝点儿。明天我可就正式戒酒了。
那个，我
Would you call me?
先回去了，我还有事。对了，你睡前记得吃2颗解酒药。
Oh, we fumbled. I guess I'm going to jerk off alone
是
today.
我对不起你。
The screw up option.
难道？萧雅，有危险，别出门。
为什么？
总 之，你听我的，千万别出门。如果出门，你就会……
No, my quantum entanglement phone. It's getting tangled.
我在消失吗？
You and Ya from the past finally connected through hyperspace computer. After the communication was disconnected, Ya told you from the past about your conversation. You from the past were worried that she was in danger, so you immediately took a taxi to her home. Ya survived because of the communication, but it was you who got into the car accident this time. You died on the spot in a car accident. That's funny. Good stuff. Don't tell her the truth.
学长，学长。
没什么，我可能是没睡好。
My beautiful car crash victim wife.
学长，我求求你还是告诉
Are
我
you
吧，
well?
不管发生什么事，我都相信你。
我就是知道这一点。好吧，我知道很不可思议，但在我的记忆里，小雅你因车祸死在了5年前那个暴雨夜。昨晚，我给过去发起了通讯，接听的人是你，一觉醒来，现实被改变，你活了下来。我的记忆还停留在你死去的那个现实，虽然找回了你，
I thought we weren't telling her
我
anything.
好像没有这5年的记忆。小雅，这5年和你在一起的事儿，我一点都不记得了。
所
Oh, why did
以
jawline get bigger? I did pretty good.
我过得很好，房间干干净净，窗台上摆好了花，我还在坚持运动。哎，你看我这肱二头肌。
傻瓜，这些不都
I'm not a moron.
在我面前，你可以永远都说真话。抱抱。
Oh, a nice hug.
谢谢你。现在这一切都不是梦啦。
小雅，
Go to her house. Break in.
怎么没有人？
学长，他是不是不在家呀？
就算他不在，还有他姐姐住这儿。
你们这个是
姐姐，我是林薇的朋友，他在家吗？
朋友啊？看来是新朋友喽。我没见过你。
What am I doing? What are we playing here? This is worse than the actual Diddy game I played.
还好，业余。
There's no mystery here.
做朋友
I can't even lie and say that there is a mystery in this game.
这么可爱，他也是你的朋友吗？
是，都是朋友。
朋友，跟朋友。
Those are boobies. Get them out of my face.
不知道我们家林薇是你什么样的朋友？那这位可爱妹妹又是你什么样的朋友啊？
他们
I'm looking at her boobs.
不到你了。最近林薇一直跟采访，好几天都没回家了，估计你们今天应该等不到她了。
行吧，那我们改天再来。谢谢你。
So many mysteries in this game. So many mysteries. Very mysterious.
好像要下雨了，学长，我们先回家吧。
好的。你看，是的，一定有联系。
Yes, a connection. The quantum entanglement.
真的通了，真的。
喂，能听到吗？
学长，
是未来的我。7月3号，原本小雅会车祸去世，我们改变了历史。我猜到了。
I guess so.
时间紧，下次雷暴天是7月6号，我们到那天再联络。好，我明白了。
god, the lore's still going. How much mystery do we have left in us?
昨天睡得太晚了，都日上三竿了，赶紧去找一下林薇吧。
Who gives a shit about Lin Wei?
7月5日凌晨，在市区永安河下游南滩发现一具女
What
尸。
mystery? Is there a
死者为
mystery?
知名记者程林薇。经初步侦查，警方推测凶案与连环杀手雨夜杀手案有相似之处。
The Rain Man
案
case?
件正在进一步侦办中。
你是谁？
Would you walk into their house? After waking up from a dream, you seem to have really changed the past, but things are really as you wish. It seems that it's not easy to have both fish and bear's paw. What does that mean? You got fucking taken by the Rain Man, apparently. What, do we get like a harem in the final chapter? Like, are we gonna fuck the Rain Man? That's where the deep lore is. That's where the true story hides. So much lore. I can't believe it. There was a mystery here all along. I just had to look for it. I had to go deeper in, and I found the mystery. The mystery is that some lady gets exploded by the Rain Man. Get in my face. This set, sure.
走啦。
这老地方变得这么豪华。
I'll lose to you.
耶！怎么样，学长？我说过我有进步的，对吧？
哎呀，我们家小雅真棒啊！
我厉害吧？
你个小机灵鬼。行啊，我输得心服口服。来吧，随便怎么惩罚我都行。
我想不到什么惩罚。
Why'd you offer the challenge then if you didn't know what you wanted to do to me? What?
好温柔啊！你怎么不多用点力啊？
Beat harder?
怎么舍得嘛？
Wonderful. Cute little scene there. But it gives me nothing, no lore.
走啊。
Do I have to lose to them and win to them in each outfit? I do. Apparently I do need to lose and kill them at every...
走啦。
这
I will win her. Loser. Get clown-nosed idiot. Skip through all the outfits, all the fits. Get them away from me. Yeah, give me that one. Why not?
走啊。
Yeah, you look wonderful. Whatever. I'm gonna beat you in basketball. Come here. Boom. I can't believe I have to do this for 100%. I need to beat and lose to her in every outfit.
走啊。
Not gonna affect the timeline, I guarantee you. There we go. Okay. We're chilling now. Okay, is that... Did I get everything? What are the roses? What do the roses do? Yeah, I need to throw here, I think.
是的。
Say goodbye to the past.
我不会再继续实验了，我们也不要再联系，我怕导致更大的历史改变。现在就很好啊，这已经是最好的结局了。上天给了我们一次重新再来的机会，我们一定要珍惜。
You're so fucking boring for
他已
that.
经完成了他的使命，接下来守护你就是我的使命了。
Damn, look what you went in. I don't know what the roses do, but I got them all. And I think I got every, yeah, I got every possibility here. I even got a little bit of side head from the cop at the beginning. So, yeah, we're chilling. All right, well, that was that. Maybe I'll do a full playthrough. Maybe as a shitpost, I'll do a full playthrough of the game, and we'll chill, have some fun, do that. But for now, we'll move on to my next game. I will be right back as I set that up. Please stay tuned. Kind of a banger we got right now. I gotta turn it down a bit just for the sake of the stream, but kind of a banger, not gonna lie. Alright, so now we're in Burden of Truth. I've played the original Burden of Proof. I didn't beat it because there's a fake out ending with it. And I thought that was just the end of the game and I uninstalled it. And then I learned that there's more game if I wait, and I just never felt like reinstalling it, so... This is a very Ace Attorney-like game. So we're gonna give it a play. We're gonna check it out, see how it's doing. And yeah, we will see. See what's going on. My friend sent me some delicious looking ropa vieja. I really want to figure out why my... I'm so fucking stupid. I just realized why my Fugi Tech wasn't reacting. I had my mic muted the whole fucking time. I'm so dumb. I'm such a... Oh my god, I'm mad. I'm such a dumbass. I could have had the little bouncy all this time. Fucking... I'm a Dorcas. I'm a Dorcas doofus who needs to be shot and killed. Anyway, we're doing Burden of Truth. We're gonna play it. We're gonna have a good time. We're gonna chill. Relax. Max. 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 We're doing good. Alright, let's go in. I would like to start from the beginning. Where else would I want to start? Come on. Keep up, game. What do we got?
Every piece of evidence is vital to an investigation.
Oh, there's voice acting now.
Every investigation is vital for a fair trial.
Makes sense, yeah. Tracks. Key card. Door open.
I've always been proud of my ability to unravel complex situations.
Knife. Holy shit, that toss!
So when a killer walks free from the scene of a crime, believing they got away with murder...
Oh shit, can we let him go for that knife toss?
Barrier, stopping them from escaping justice.
Oh, that kind of went hard. You can definitely tell that the creator has improved since the original game. This kind of goes hard. I'm not gonna lie. The aura farming a bit, and I'm here for it. Holy shit, he's so cool. Why am I getting hyped? I didn't even particularly, like, super enjoy the first game. Why am I getting hyped to see him in action again? Damn. Roll the credits. Show the title of the game. Yeah, there it is. Cinema. Okay, I actually kind of fuck with this. I hope that this game doesn't really include anything from the last game, because then I'll be lost. I'd rather not have to replay it. Look at you with your updated model. Mad and Nad. It's actually a secretly reversed name. Their true name is Dane Tame. Or Dane Tam. There he is. He looks so fucked.
Prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Alright. I gotta get, you know what? I gotta give credit where credit's due. It goes hard. It goes hard. You know what? I went into this not expecting much, but you got me, Rob. You got me, Rob Productions. I'm here for it. But you can't make a mystery game on aura farming alone. The mysteries have to be good. So, you know, that's what we're really going to be judging here. It's the bread and butter. Let's hope you have more mystery than the last game I just played. March 2007. No, should turn that down a smidge. What is that? Court record. Okay, I'll look over that in a second. We just... I think music is fine. I think I just want to turn the text flip down a little bit. I gotta turn down the... Yeah, that should be a fine volume. Order! Order in the court! Court is now in session. We're gathered here today because of a violent murder of one Abigail Graviton, who was found dead yesterday afternoon. As always, I'll be assisted by the counselors of law, who will vote on our final verdict. A 2/3 majority is required to pass judgment. I'm merely here to observe and report my opinion to the court. And I'm here to put criminals in the rightful place. Sounds good to me. Anyway, it's time to proceed with the opening statements. Is the prosecution ready? As I stated just moments ago, yes, Your Honor. And the defense? We've just been waiting for Cross to finish his dramatic entrance. Sure did take a while. Hey, it was a big moment in my opinion. Let me have this. Yeah, let him aura farm a little bit. Lay off him. Pump the brakes a bit. How does the defense plead? Do you even have to ask at this point? It's simply a formality, Miss Flocking. Fine. Not guilty, Your Honor. Very well, then we will now commence the trial of Max Colladera. My name is Conrad Cross. I'm a prosecuting attorney. 1 year ago, my mentor was poisoned in this very building. He collapsed right before my eyes. The incident left him comatose, and he still hasn't woken up. His name is Gray Nail, and he taught me everything I know about this job. After his hospitalization, I've done everything I can to learn about the law and stand on my own 2 feet. My mission is to deliver justice to the guilty, just like he wanted. And that's exactly what I've been doing without him. But ever since that traumatic day ended, I've wondered what it truly means to be a prosecutor. Oh. That said, I won't falter today. I must face the defense's lies with courage. Just this morning, I was brought into a situation that had caught my eye. From what I understand, the police have hard evidence pointing to the defendant. And when we factor in his personal connection with the victim, it seems like this case will be open and shut. If I understand correctly, things will be a little unorthodox today. That's correct, Your Honor. Due to jurisdictional complication, the investigation team is still conducting their search of the crime scene as we speak. As such, we won't have a detective available to present the crime in question. Additionally, further evidence will be provided to the court as we go. The team is working as fast as they can under the circumstances. Imagine being in the Thunderdome seats up there. That'd be sick. Are you sure that the prosecution can present a complete argument without a full picture of the crime scene? They'll train me to let nothing get in the way of justice. I'll make do as best as I can with these limitations in play. Yes, Your Honor. Bold and stupid. But hey, if you're willing to accept a handicap, I won't complain. Blocking's not one to pull punches. I should be extra careful today. Very well, please proceed with your explanation of the defendant's arrest. Court evidence is everything. In order to back my claims, I'll need to show solid proof using records I've taken in my notebook. I can access the court record by pressing Tab. You'll find the records are split across several categories, including people of interest. Throughout the trial, I'll be tested on my knowledge of the case. I should be sure to choose the appropriate category based on the situation. When I've selected my answer to the question being asked, I can press E or use the present button to submit it. If I'm going to solve this case and prove the defendant guilty, I must piece together the truth using the clues I've encountered. Mr. Cross, you've been staring into space for quite a while. Sorry, I'd like to introduce the location where the victim was found. This photo shows the state of the crime scene on March 11th. That's like a robotics lab? Time of death, March 11, 3:06 p.m. Abigail Graviton died from a single stab wound caused by a 90-mile-per-hour strike? Fucking car come into the room and drive a knife into her? Was she attacked by a horseback centurion? The crime happened in the lab room. Right. Found on the floor of the lab near the arm belongs to Max Caldera. Alright. 22, 28, Max Caldera. Okay. Well, here's the photo. Skadoosh. As you can see, the murder was committed in the robotics lab. The lab is owned by a company called Tactile Synthetics, and it's used to research the integration of AI and commercial machinery. This photo was taken sometime after the police arrived, but everything in the room has been preserved. Hold on a minute, I can't see the victim in this picture at all. Well, that's because Miss Graviton's body was found behind the big desk at the front. You can't see it from the angle. Because of the aforementioned jurisdictional issues, a picture of the corpse wasn't captured before it had to be moved from the scene. It certainly is strange. A barrage of requests from some important outside source caused a ton of conflicts in our usual operation. Right, well then I suppose we'll have to use our imaginations. Well, no need, Your Honor. I requested a digital recreation of the scene to be delivered momentarily. Oh, that's exciting! We're living in the future! I don't need to get your hopes up too much. It's just a picture. Sir, we have the file in question ready for the presentation. Excellent. Please bring your attention to the following image. Abigail Graviton was found dead in this position around 4 p.m. yesterday with a knife sticking out of her chest. She was slumped against the cabinet, which held the chemical compounds for testing. Because the desk was blocking sight from the doorways, the body wasn't discovered until nearly an hour after the incident occurred. Alright. It's my understanding that a blood sample from the spot taken earlier this morning. Is that correct? Yes, sir. It's ready to be submitted to the court record. The desk blood. As you can see, it was confirmed to be the victim's blood. Furthermore, this was the only visible trace of blood found at the scene. Isn't it possible the police missed something? The building that the lab resides in is quite a big search. It's possible more clues could be uncovered outside the room. But for now, the investigation team have assured me that no other significant blood stains can be found in the immediate area. Yeah, that's good. What a pitiful display. You can't seriously expect us to believe that crap. Crap. She said crap. She swore. Kill her. Let's get back on track, shall we? If the prosecution believes that the defendant is responsible for the crime, I'd like to see some hard evidence linking him to the events. I understand. This should be easy enough to establish. This ID card belongs to Max Colladera. It was found in roughly the same spot as the corpse that we just discussed. Mr. Colladera works for Tactile Synthetics, giving him ample access to the room, and not only that, but his ID card proves he was physically at the scene. This is no coincidence. He had every opportunity to commit the murder.
Objection.
Ooh. Sultry, I liked it. What a shame. I really expected better from you, Cross. What you have there is circumstantial at best. It doesn't matter who my client works for or where you found that card. But this evidence proves the defendant stood at the very same spot the body was found. Have you lost it, Conrad? This doesn't prove a thing. The answer is simple. Mr. Colladera dropped his ID card much earlier in the day, before the incident even started. I have to agree with the defense. We should see something more decisive before coming to any conclusions. I knew this lead might be flimsy, but it's just the beginning. Gonna have any hope in figuring this out, I have to remember. Remember? What? No, not again. It's starting to happen again. Now? What is it? What did I forget? What's wrong with me? Why is this happening? The hell? Fucking aliens? Is everything okay, Cross? I'm getting worried for you, dog. Like, real talk, forget the fucking trial. You're tweaking over there, man. You don't look too good. Oh no, I'm sad, Cross. Perhaps the prosecution is unable to recover from this leap of logic? No, fine. Remember the connection between the defendant and the victim. Perhaps this will be more clear if we take a step back and talk about the defendant himself. Max Colladera is an esteemed lab assistant who handles mechanical equipment at Tactile Synthetics. His reputation at the lab is passable, but one key fact is responsible for his rapid acceleration through the training program. His knife thrower. His relationship with the victim, Miss Abigail Graviton. According to a statement provided by their co-worker, Max worked closely under Abigail ever since he joined the lab. He knew the victim well before the incident occurred and was familiar with her daily schedule. Furthermore, the two have been romantically involved for at least the past 4 months.
Objection.
And it's because of this fact that it's hard to believe my client is responsible for the murder. They were dating at the time of her death. Well, at first glance, you might assume something like that. But statistically speaking, it's more likely than not that the true culprit behind this crime was someone who knew the victim personally. It's common for some sort of personal vendetta or jealousy to drive the motive behind a violent crime. We should not speculate before knowing the full picture. I'm inclined to agree. Let's just assume it was a lover's quarrel and be done with it. I appreciate the vote of confidence, but that's still speculation. Your Honor, if I may. I believe we can clear this up if we hear from the defendant himself. it would help to hear firsthand about his relationship with Miss Graviton. Well, very well, prepared to bring the defendant to the witness stand. Alright, let's hear from the big kahuna himself. Pointless. Max Colladera, you are accused of murdering your superior, Abigail Graviton. Oh, this sucks. What a waste of time. This is a very serious matter, and you've been called to testify in the court of law. Oh, chill out, you old potato. I didn't do it. Potato? The truth will be revealed during the course of the trial. If you want to prove your innocence, you must answer our questions honestly. Now, waste of space. Since the defense called this witness, Flocking will initiate the conversation. During testimony, it's important to pay close attention to the statements made by the individual being questioned. I should also be prepared to object to anything that could harm my case. If I'm prompted with the exclamation point symbol, that means I can object to the current statement. If I press Q or click the symbol, I'll object. If I want to pass, I can simply continue to the next line. Before I make a decision, however, I should be certain about my choice. If I object to something and can't back it up, I might receive a penalty. Similarly, if I fail to object to something and the defense gains the upper hand, I might get punished anyway. I should take my time to review the evidence before proceeding. Let's get this started already. Mr. Colladera, I'd like the court to get a sense of your job at Tactile Synthetics. Can you explain what it is you do at the lab? Yeah, sure, it'll speed it along. You know, at Tactile Synthetics, we aim to combine the recent technological advancements in AI with cutting-edge robotics. I should check that new statement I got. No, just simple. Okay. We've been working towards replacing lost limbs, creating chore-focused robots, and designing seed-planted devices. It's thanks to the popularity of militarized scouting drones that we had the idea to put the technology to better use. In just the lab I worked in, we prototyped a new robotic arm, an electromagnet, a chemical compound that reduces blood loss. It sounds insane to think about, but we've already had one patient see a massive improvement in the day-to-day lives of us since cybernetics were installed. And what about your personal responsibilities? Yeah, well, as you discussed earlier, I'm an assistant. I was hoping to learn so much before things went haywire. No idea what happened until I saw a crowd gathered outside the room. Poor Abby. So it's true, you and the victim were partners? Yeah, that's right, that's why it's a complete BS to think I would have killed her. It's not the only waste of energy, but a waste of potential energy. He thinks his relationship with the victim protects him. How naive. So you deny any involvement with the crime? That's right. Can you explain why your ID card was found at the scene? Okay, I'll bite. The ID card was standard issue identification for everyone in the building. You can't enter any secure rooms, and even the building itself, without first scanning it on the panel by the door. Is that true for the lab itself? No. We got a little bit tired of the hassle, so we disabled the security for that room quite a while ago. Rabble. See, wait, hold on, isn't that a little dangerous with all the equipment in there? It's fine, everything in that room's harmless. Clearly not, considering the murder. The defendant's lack of care aside, I believe this ID card business can be put behind us if we assume that it was simply left behind. Yeah, my attorney's correct. Accidentally dropped it before I left the lab. I can't say I fully believe him at this point in time, but I don't have any real reason to doubt the claim. Now I should just take what he says at face value and see where that leads me. Alrighty. To be clear, you claim to have left the room before 3:06 p.m. Yeah, exactly. It's all just a big waste. I mean, it's understanding. That's why the real suspect must still be out there. Anyone from the street could have walked in and killed my Abby.
Objection.
Yeah, I'm not letting that one slide. While true, the lab doors themselves were lacking security. For your own words from earlier, they would have needed a keycard to get into the building itself. Yeah, fuck you, Colladera. Oh, Cordera. Probably Cordera. It's 2 L's. This only furthers my point that you had every opportunity to kill the victim.
Objection.
Mr. Cordera is just one of the many employees who had access to the Tactile Synthetics building. There are more suspects out there. Well, the police have concluded that 2 individuals without confirmed alibis had access to the 2nd floor at the time of the crime. Both of them are present at the courtroom today, but neither of them had a personal connection to the victim. Order! We should again refrain from speculation on the motive. For now, I would like to get a clearer picture on the events leading up to the murder itself. Now, a moment, sir. We've acquired more evidence from the scene. Oh, finally. Has to be something decisive. First item is a small piece of duct tape that was found in the testing chamber. Oh, okay. Duct tape. The testing chamber? It's a small room in the back of the lab. You'll find it in the schematics. Yeah, I really don't have a full picture here, but maybe taken together we can discover something worthwhile. The other item is what appears to be the murder weapon, a bloodied knife. Took you that long to find it? The murder weapon? Is this the knife that was found sticking out of the victim's chest? I'm unsure, sir. It was provided to me without context. I think it is, Your Honor. According to the analysis, the knife is covered in the victim's blood. There were no fingerprints found on the handle. Are you sure the analysis was performed correctly? We had all 16 cores of the player's computer crunching the numbers. We're sure that no fingerprint was present. I would like to point out the fact that a lack of fingerprints does not mean the defendant didn't wield this weapon.
Objection.
On the contrary, Cross, we aren't able to rule out any other possibility for the defendant to have committed this crime. What? I've been waiting for a moment like this. It's clear the prosecution has overlooked something quite crucial. Overlooked? What's she trying to say? Was his fingerprint found anywhere? What does prove it? Oh, the fact that it was done at fucking 90 miles per hour? No way, Flocken's right! Did you not notice that before? You must be talking about the autopsy report. Bingo, the report clearly states the stab wound struck Miss Graviton at 90 miles or 144 kilometers per hour. Well, it was somewhat obvious beforehand. Now that we have the knife, we can discuss the method of murder properly. If the attacker's hand would have to move at 90 miles per hour, neither Max Cordera or any human on this planet would be able to pull off such an insane feat of agility. The robot did this. Order! This is a tremendous oversight by the prosecution! Aw, crap, I can't prove the defendant's guilty if he wasn't even able to deal the killing blow. I have to think, how can I make this work? If Max couldn't strike the victim himself, then he could have gotten someone who could? Does he know a professional baseball pitcher? No, there's no way that's right. The defendant was the one responsible. How could he have done it? What trick did he have up his sleeve to result in such a strong attack? Prosthetic hand. The prosecution can demonstrate how it's possible for the defendant to deal the killing blow. Oh, this is rich. Have you resorted to bluffing already, or are you going to suggest he had superhuman strength? Yeah, no bluffs here, and there's no need to resort to supernatural to explain this. While I may not be able to prove this definitively, I can at least come up with one possibility for the scenario to make sense. Very well, let's hear what you had in mind. robo hand. Take a look at this photo of the crime scene. This lab was filled with all sorts of equipment, including machinery. Now focus your attention on the desk in the middle. Right behind the desk is where the victim's body was found. If you were to picture the victim standing here, what is it that catches your eye now? Oh, the robotic arm. But then, you can't mean... Yes, the reason for the supposedly superhuman stab is the fact that the attacker was not human. If you were to secure a knife to the arm that's resting on the desk, it would become a lethal killing machine. With the right knowledge and access, someone could have programmed the machine to perform a high-velocity attack. Remember the defendant's occupation. It's for this reason Mr. Kayadera is the most likely suspect in the case.
Objection.
That's absurd. The arm couldn't move that fast, could it? Mr. Kayadera, please cooperate. Tell us if it's at least possible for this attack to occur. Yeah, the arm was built to be faster than previous models. But I didn't do any of what you just said. That'd be a waste of research. Do I object on that? Alright, let's move on. It's a good thing I didn't object. It wouldn't be smart to badger the defendant without concrete proof. Remember to keep a level head and approach each situation with care. I'll concede that your method of murder was possible, Cross, but without evidence, we can't yet assume that my client was guilty. Given this fact, we'll need to hear more about the defendant's actions at 3 p.m. yesterday. We will take a 5-minute recess to prepare Mr. Kayadera for further testimony. Court is adjourned. Skadoosh. Reach revelation, I knew that we'd only had just scratched the surface of what truly unfolded in the case. I was more ready than ever to see it through, to find the truth. At the end of the demo? It is not. Order, court is again in session. Max Kayadera is still on the witness stand, and we're ready to hear your version of the events that transpired yesterday afternoon. No waste of words. He's running out of nouns to complain about. I think it's about time the court heard the truth about your whereabouts while the crime was committed. The autopsy report states that Miss Graviton died at 3:06 precisely. Are you able to recall that time for the court? Yeah, whatever. Excellent. I'd like to cross-examine this testimony, Your Honor. Cross-examination is a special type of testimony that allows the questioning attorney to validate key information using evidence. First, the witness will provide a series of statements to be reviewed by the court. We'll have a chance to recap the info at a time. Then I can navigate back and forth for each line to find one that contains a contradiction. When I found the offending statement, I can open the court record by pressing tab or clicking the bottom left icon. And I'll present the evidence that proves the statement is false. Permission granted. Please proceed. About to get you, buddy boy. It should be obvious I'm innocent. Such a waste to explain. I entered the lab at 1 p.m. hoping to find Abby, and she was there, hard at work programming some new routines. It was a Sunday, so we weren't on our usual working hours. We just wanted to catch up on a system testing. You know, everything seemed okay with her, and I didn't want to interrupt her typing, so we didn't talk much. Around 3 p.m. I left the lab to dispose of some hazardous waste and didn't return until after the crowd had gathered around the room. It's a normal procedure, but it happened at the worst time. If only I'd waited just a bit longer. Now, do you see now? I don't belong here. So you saw nothing out of the ordinary before leaving the room. And like I said, it was a complete waste of resources to ask my side. There's a pun here involving his usage of the word waste and the literal hazardous waste he just mentioned. But I can't bring myself to think of it right now. So what you mentioned before, was that some sort of chemical byproduct? That's right. After working with industrial materials in the lab, we get rid of them via a designated disposal area elsewhere in the building. Put the waste into a brightly yellow container for your easier transport. And you didn't notice anything unusual on your way to the disposal area. Nah, I already told you. I know nothing that could help this investigation. I want to go home. You don't find it at all suspicious that you were the last person to see the victim before her demise.
Objection.
I feel like that should have been a press thing, like you press it and then you get information about what the container looks like, but it seems weird to out that here. If the murder had happened the way you described, Abigail would have seen the defendant set up the knife on the robotic arm. She wouldn't just let herself get stabbed with her killer in plain sight. That's very true, assuming he's telling the truth, which he's not. Regardless of the exact method of murder, there's no denying that something isn't right with the testimony. I should review each statement and present the evidence that points out the contradiction most clearly. I will learn what truly happened to Miss Graviton. You lying ass, you ain't moving waste anywhere. You waste of space. Skadoosh.
Objection.
Mr. Corradera, there's no way that what you said was the truth. What? But oh, that's not the voice. But that's what really happened. No, you couldn't have taken the hazardous material to the disposal area at 3 p.m. Because this photo proves that the waste container itself was still in the lab at 4. According to your statement, you didn't return to the lab until a crowd had gathered around the room, having discovered Miss Graviton's body. We assume the police arrived shortly after that the scene of the crime was preserved until that point. If you'd removed the waste container from its spot in the photo, it wouldn't have be possible for you to return to the lab. So tell the truth, what really happened at 3 p.m. yesterday?
Objection.
You're overlooking a simple explanation. Isn't it possible for a second container to have existed in the lab that we've never seen? And we can easily verify that. We just need to ask the investigation team to search for a similar container at the disposal area. Yeah. Very well, we will proceed with the prosecution's suggestion. No, hold on. That would be a waste of manpower. I lied. I didn't take out the hazardous materials at 3 p.m. Okay, being very honest. I appreciate it. Water, it's a serious offense to lie during sworn testimony. Also, will the audience please stop jumping on your bouncy balls while the trial is ongoing? Oh, he's so sad. What the fuck? What? Okay, I see you. I see you, Raw Productions. You're getting goofy with it. Mac Corradera, if you will tell the truth of your actions during the incident yesterday, or you will be held in contempt. Your Honor, if I can explain my client's behavior. Max simply didn't want to implicate himself in this crime, so he told a more convenient story that simplifies what really happened.
Objection.
You're not getting away with that. In a court of law, you're expected to tell the truth and nothing but the truth. My client's not required to uphold any standard of storytelling. He must understand that he is not a trained legal professional. If I know flocking, she probably encouraged him to say whatever it would take to get a not guilty verdict. It's a dirty tactic, and this won't be the end of it. Let's press on. Regardless, the truth of the matter is that Mr. Corradera did leave the room at 3 p.m., just not for the reason he described earlier. Well, if that's the case, then you should explain what really happened to the court immediately. Max, feel free to testify about what you actually moved to now. I'm sorry for misleading you all. That's not his voice. What happened? Sorry for misleading you all. The truth is, I went to the server room at 3 p.m. Nothing else really changes about my story. A server room? So a space with a lot of computers? That's right, I was trying to avoid doing more work in the lab and I didn't want anyone to know I was gone. I can't say I'm really surprised at that point, but again, how do you still have a job? I made sure to tiptoe so nobody could hear me, and I didn't explain to Abby where I was headed when I left. That's all I know, I swear. so he'd be right behind where she was. Are you sure about the time that you left the room? Yeah, it's the same as before, around 3 p.m. And you really didn't see anyone else that could be a potential suspect? I mean, I saw Ivy in the hallway, but she never heard a fly. He's talking about Ivy Field, the coworker that provided a written statement about Max's history with Miss Graviton. I think it's become clear that my client is not responsible for what happened to Abigail Graviton. Exactly, I got no idea who or what killed my Abby. I don't know, man. You're right. You're like right there. Come on. Come on.
Objection.
That's a blatant lie. The bouncy balls. Mr. Kralls, do you have anything that can substantiate your assertion? Barring some crazy scenarios, there must have been some sort of commotion when Mr. Graviton was killed. Considering that fact, only one conclusion makes sense here. Yeah, I can prove it. The defendant does know more than he's letting on. Considering just how close he was, he should know more. Max, please take a look at the floor plans that were provided by the investigation team before we began today. The server room is located just north of the lab where the incident occurred. Yeah, that's right. Now, where exactly was the victim killed? Considering the lack of blood anywhere else in the room, it must have been where we found her body. If you were really in the server room when Abigail died, why haven't you testified to hearing her scream from the adjacent room? You're either lying about your true actions at 3 p.m. or you're hiding critical information from the court.
Objection.
What an absurd leap of logic. How can you be so sure that he would have heard something through the walls separating the two rooms? Recall what Mr. Kayadera said earlier statement explaining how he entered the server room. He said very specifically that he had to tiptoe to avoid getting heard by his coworkers. It stands to reason the walls were very thin. Fair point, but how do you know that the victim made such a noise in the first place? Well, depending on the severity of the attack, Abigail may have been too weak to let out a cry at all. If that's the case, she must have been attacked by surprise. However, all of that assumes the defendant is telling the truth. There's not enough clarity to come to a conclusion at this point. Mr. Kayadera, if you want us to believe your most recent statement, you will need to testify in greater detail. Oh, what a waste of detail. Last remark didn't make sense. Please skip to the comebacks and simply speak about your whereabouts yesterday afternoon. I'd like to cross-examine this testimony, Your Honor. No permission granted. Proceed. Of course you're gonna cross-examine it. It'd be weirder if you didn't. I don't know how many times I have to say this, but I don't know anything more that could track down the true killer. When I entered the lab, I saw that Abby was working diligently on some routines that were supposed to aid our testing process. That wasn't going to be much help, so I tried looking into the machine assembly. Not all that good with computers. Sometime after that, I got bored and decided to take a break. That was about 3, I'm sure of it. I kept quiet as I moved to the secure server room, hoping that no one would notice I was missing. As for your noise concern, there's plenty of computers whirring in there. That's why I couldn't hear anything from the other room. The only one I saw in the hallway was Ivy Field. She glanced over but didn't say anything to me. Sometime later I stepped out, only to find a crowd of people blocking the door to the lab. Never got to say goodbye. And you never re-entered the room once the crowd had gathered. Yeah, couldn't believe my eyes, so I started crying. I was in the hallway until the police arrived. And what about Ivy Field? You mentioned that you spotted her in the hallway. Yeah, I did. That was around 3, but I can't recall seeing her after that. Everything seems reasonable. Could that really be it? This a dead end? There must be some inconsistency I can use to learn something. I must not doubt my initial deduction. With no pressing concern about the validity of your statements, we can proceed with the cross-examination. Find the truth. Okay. I'd look into the machine assembly. I'm not that good with computers. Alright. Okay, anything... Able to re-enter the room after the incident occurred. There must be something I can prove with this information. I consider the state of the crime scene as we know it. I'm sure that an inconsistency will arise. Just remember to utilize the hint system if I need it. Okay. Hey, challenge yourself. Don't use the hint. Okay. Yeah. Hold on, what are you talking about? You stepped outside. Oh, okay. I guess you could do that. I'm not sure of this one, actually. I'm not positive on this one. I'd be getting fooled here. Don't know anything more that could track down the killer. I entered the lab. Also that Abby was working diligently on some routines that were supposed to aid in our testing process. But that's fine. Good looking into machine assembly. I'm not all that good with computers. I mean, it's the fact that you're a staff member. Okay. Server, I'm not sure about this one, actually. I'm not sure what would be... Oh, he can't get into the server room because he'd be missing his card.
Objection.
Okay. Because I would probably change that a little bit. Just, I think there should be dialogue that the server room is secure. or something like that. It feels a bit odd of him saying the secure server room. Weird. You claim to have entered the secure server room at the time of the incident, but that can't be true. What? Why not? Earlier today you mentioned that a tactile synthetic employee ID card was required to enter the secure rooms, and if that's true, there's no way you could have passed through those doors if your ID card was dropped by mistake at the scene of the crime. My goodness, you're correct! Defendant, you claim to have remained outside the lab once the body had been discovered. How was it that your ID card was found at the cream of the sign? Yeah, the sign that the crime scene if you took it with you when you entered the server room. I can explain. Shouldn't have doubted myself. Max Calladera must be the true culprit behind this murder. I'll deliver justice to the victim of this heinous crime. Admit it, Mr. Calladera, you're the one that used the robotic arm to kill Abigail. Urgent update, sir. The investigation team has discovered something. Huh? Further evidence from the crime scene. Well, that's correct, sir. A system report proves the entire building underwent a power outage at approximately 3:02 yesterday. No, he's still lying then. A power outage that lasted 10 minutes, and we know the victim died at 3:06. If there's no electricity powering the lab, then that means...
Objection.
Well, Cross, I'm afraid the end is nigh. What, huh? Is there a horse in here? She meant to say nay, okay. If this evidence is to be believed, then there was no way for the robotic arm to function properly at the moment Miss Graviton was attacked. In other words, the method of murder you previously described was impossible. My client is clearly innocent. Rabble, 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 rabble. This can't be happening. How else could Calladera have pulled this 90-mile-per-hour strike off if not the robotic arm? I might have to rethink everything from the ground up. Well, it's clear the court cannot come to a consensus about how the crime was carried out, much less who was responsible. I've come to the conclusion that we must extend the trial to allow for further investigation to be conducted. Crap, more time might allow me to gather more evidence, but it also creates an opportunity for the defendant to fabricate more lies. I can't let that happen. The trial must continue. Your Honor, we can't end here. What the fuck was that? Good heavens! What was that? Was that? Would the nuke go off? What was that? What exploded? Everyone, please remain seated until we can confirm the situation. It felt like the shockwave of a bomb. No, why is this happening? Please remain calm. The security team will provide assistance to anyone in need. Could it be someone attempting to interfere with the trial? Someone trying to bomb the courtroom? Just when I thought I had everything figured out, the whole case started to fall apart. I wasn't under any delusion that this would be easy, but I knew that I had to keep pushing forward. I had to be the one to deliver the justice. Because I couldn't trust anyone else to see the world as I did. Okay, we're still going. Order in the court. It has now been 30 minutes since the explosion. I will explain the situation in full so that those of you in the audience can determine whether you wish to leave. First, the bomb was detonated outside in the courthouse parking lot, decimating the vehicle that carried it. The police have concluded that it was likely not a direct attack, but meant to send some sort of message to the legal professionals. We've also conducted a thorough search of the building and surrounding area, and found nothing that could indicate the presence of another bomb. Given this information, we believe that it is safe to continue as normal. Rabble, 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 rabble. In years past, a situation like this would have involved evacuating the courtroom and waiting until a later date to continue the trial. Ever since the court started accelerating and mystery solving became televised for entertainment, everything's been dramatized for the public. It's terrible they'd put the rapid conclusion of the trial above the safety of the audience, but it at least buys me enough time to turn this around. Your Honor, I believe you're about to grant us an additional day to investigate the scene, but I don't believe it's necessary anymore. During the break, I had a chance to talk with the investigation team, and they provided a few crucial leads that could move the case along. Given that the explosion occurred outside, I actually feel a bit safer inside on this kingly throne. You're the most visible target in the room. Very well. As long as it furthers the discussion, you may explore other avenues for the time being. Thank you, Your Honor. To begin, I'd like to share an update from the security staff in charge of witness operations. During the explosion that just occurred, a witness who was prepared to testify attempted to flee the building. Pitiful. No criminal can escape the cold grasp of justice. I wouldn't be so quick to assume. Is this one of the two individuals who had an unconfirmed alibi at 3 p.m. yesterday? That's correct, Counselor. We've heard about Ivy Field, but this new witness wasn't relevant until now. Another witness in this perplexing science-themed crime? Let me guess, his name is Mr. Physics or something. No, his name is Dean Barron. Baryon? Not any better. Mr. Baryon was delivering packages on the day of the incident and was inside the building when the police arrived. I think it's time we heard his side of the story, since it might lead to more clues about the true cause of death. And regardless of what I believe about the true culprit, it is suspicious for Dean Baryon to run away from his testimony. In that sense, we have to consider all angles and determine the truth through our collective interpretations of the events. Very well, please bring the witness to the stand at once. Forward in a circle, please. Perhaps a rhombus. Yeah? Dean Baryon, it's our understanding that you were present at the Tactile Synthetics Lab yesterday at 3 p.m. We've also learned about your attempt to flee the courthouse during the explosion that occurred in the parking lot today. Right. Please explain yourself. Did you have anything to do with the murder of Abigail Graviton? No! Not much of a talker, it seems, but we still have a job to do. Is there any way you can elaborate further on your side of the story? No? Well, it was worth a shot. Mr. Baryon, you have called to testify in a murder trial. Explain yourself, or we will be no choice but to assume the worst. All right. That was easy. I deliver packages. I was there yesterday delivering a package. I didn't do it. Oh, if he said he didn't do it.
Objection.
Nice try, Cross. Unfortunately, we'll need more than that. What is it that you were delivering, if you don't mind me asking? Equipment? Yeah, what kind of equipment? The usual orders for the lab. You know, new electromagnet. The court has come into possession of the package that Mr. Barron was carrying when he questioned the police at 4 p.m. I'll add it to the public record now. Electromagnet, you say? Though it seems the delivery in the lab was common occurrence for Baryon. If that's the case, then what else can we know about the movements of the defendant? When you were delivering the package yesterday, did the building staff let you in through the front lobby? Yeah? And what time was that? Around 2:30 p.m.? That sounds reasonable to me.
Objection.
Isn't that a little suspicious? Think of the timeline here. Whoa, what do you mean? Consider the evidence that I just presented to the court. It was acquired by the police after the murder occurred. Fair? If Dean had entered the building at 2:30, well, why would he have spent more than 30 minutes to drop it off? Has the prosecution purposefully been overlooking the truth to further its case? Oh, what? No! I'm afraid I'm not convinced. You will receive a penalty to satiate my thirst for punishment. I'll just be the punching bag then. In any case, we should proceed with this new information. Witness, you need to explain yourself. The instructions were clear. I was supposed to open it on delivery. But the lab was occupied when I arrived, and I didn't want to interrupt. Max and Abigail were working there before 3. I ripped open the package in the hallway and waited. After some time, I used the bathroom and returned to find a crowd. I just received my package from the floor when the police found me. So you had unrestricted access to the crime scene at the time of the murder. I didn't do it. If that's the case, is anyone able to corroborate your story? You mentioned visiting the bathroom. Well, yeah, I saw someone. It was Ivy Field. We should see Ivy Field already. Miss Field again. And will she be able to verify your movements at 3 p.m.? I don't know, maybe she didn't notice me. In the absence of solid proof, we must speak in greater detail about your actions yesterday afternoon. Oh, sure. I'd like to cross-examine the testimony, Your Honor. Granted. Now please, leave nothing omitted. Let's hear it, baby. I didn't do it. Are you kidding me? That's it? Order, I told you to leave nothing omitted. I didn't, it's just that simple. You all seem to have the wrong idea about me. I was in the building because I was delivering a package. That's it. Then why did you try to run from the courthouse during the explosion in the parking lot? I was just scared. Okay, whatever's going on here, there's clearly something he's not telling us. I'm gonna prove the defendant guilty, then I must get to the bottom of this. Surely there must be more you can tell us. Agreed. As it stands now, you have the air of a criminal. You claim to have opened the package upon arrival. Can you at least describe the state of the scene when that happened? Alright, fine. Using my bare hands, I tore through the duct tape, sealing the package in the hallway. Ivy Field witnessed it. Still doesn't tell us much of anything, but I'll have to make do. For all the reason it's possible that Miss Field didn't notice you, why are you so confident she witnessed it now? Well, thinking back on it, I did notice that she glanced over in my direction. Can't say for certain whether she remembered it now. Ross, I'm afraid this statement may have to suffice for the time being. Please continue with your cross-examination. Using my bare hands, I tore through the duct tape sealing the package in the hallway. And Ivy Field witnessed it. Still just one statement. Ridiculous. Nevertheless, I have to take it as face value and do what I can to contradict his testimony. If this lead dries up, we'll be no closer to learning the truth of what happened in the lab yesterday. I must press on.
Objection.
The duct tape. Dean Burian, I find it hard to believe that you actually opened the package you delivered in the hallway outside the robotics lab. What? If you didn't enter the lab room at all during your time at the building, then how can you explain the fact that we found this piece of duct tape in the testing chamber? Rabble, 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 rabble.
Objection.
You're sounding insane, Conrad. What does that piece of tape have to do with Mr. Byron's testimony? Well, that should be obvious, Miss Flocking. The tape which was found by your investigation team must have been the same tape used to seal the package. Since Byron claimed to have never entered the lab, how could it possibly be that this tape ended up in the testing chamber? Are you kidding me? There's no way you can make that claim. The piece of tape that you've shown us could have come from any source. How can you be so sure it was tied to the package specifically? I too find it a bit hard to believe that the piece of tape could verify his presence in the testing chamber. Well, I've been informed that this brand of tape in question does match the sample acquired from the package retrieved from Dean yesterday. Okay, that seems like a bit of a asshole, just sudden statement. I feel like you... still means nothing. Wait, hold on. No, I feel like you shouldn't just make stuff up like that. It still means nothing. The supposed link to the witness is circumstantial at best. I don't understand. Flocking shouldn't be opposed to casting suspicion on someone besides her client, so why is she so adamant about this? She's right. I never went into that room. But you were just outside of it, right? If that's true, then you had the perfect opportunity to note suspicious individuals near the crime scene. So why haven't you testified about what happened during the murder itself? I already told you it's because I was in the bathroom when the crime happened. And what time did you leave your spot, exactly? Must have been, around 3 minutes after 3? Nothing seemed out of the ordinary at the time.
Objection.
That doesn't fit with the facts. Mr. Cross, if you have an accusation to make, then I suggest you clarify your point immediately. Well, simply put, it's highly unlikely that you would have left to use the bathroom at 3:03 because... a power outage. The crucial fact about the state of the building becomes much more important now that we know the specifics that he chose to leave. According to the system report that we received earlier, the entire building lost power just a minute before Mr. Barron claims to have started moving. If the lights were out, why would you have thought that was an appropriate time to go to the bathroom? That's right. Answer me, why do you keep lying to the court? It wasn't a lie. I did use the bathroom. I just happened to do so in the dark. Unbelievable. He's still trying to wiggle his way out of this. Without definitive evidence to the contrary, I'm afraid it's entirely possible that this witness is telling the truth. Though it may not seem likely, some among us are able to keep calm and use the bathroom when the power goes out. Others, like me, are prone to screaming at the top of their lungs. And when you put it that way, I guess it's possible. Yeah, that's right. I'm used to the dark environment, so I had no trouble finding the toilets. How do I even refute something like that? No matter, there's another point I have yet to make that will settle this. Mr. Byrne, if you really were in the hallway at 3 p.m., then you should have encountered this person. One Max Koyedera. You see, Mr. Koyedera had previously testified that he had left the lab at 3 p.m. to enter the secure server room, which was right next door. He claimed to have been outside the lab at 3:03, but during all this, not once did you mention seeing Max in the hallway. Both of you claim to have been in the hallway at 3 p.m., but neither of you have testified to seeing each other. In such a narrow space, it's hard to imagine missing someone who is waiting outside with a package while leaving the room. Regardless of who we believe, it's clear that both of your statements cannot be true at the same time. If that's the case, one of you must be lying. It stands to reason that if one of you has a reason to lie, then you could very well be responsible for the murder of Abigail Graviton.
Objection.
Not so fast, Cross. I believe now is the perfect opportunity to reveal one of those other leads I mentioned earlier. She waited all the way until now to bring it up. Very well, but ensure that you do not hold back relevant information in the future. Noted, Your Honor. Let's start with this. Beyond needing an ID card to enter the secure rooms, the building's security system also recorded which cards passed through the doorway. In other words, if you walked into one of these special rooms, the computer system would note your ID number and the time you entered. Learning this from a representative of the investigation team, and he also delivered something important during our recess. A table from the relevant rooms has been printed for us to peruse. I'd like to add it to the court record for now. Now we can tell for certain who passed through each room during the incident. Someone entered the test chamber. Two people went into the test chamber at like the same time. For evidence like this, there has to be more info contained within it. I can use the details button to show the additional text or images. As you can see, even though the lab's ID card requirement was disabled yesterday, this logging system was still functioning. But more importantly, we can finally confirm whether someone entered the server room at 3 PM on the 11th. Rada. Wait! As our eager prosecutor has just discovered, an ID number was recorded at the time. And you'll be pleased to hear that it matches the ID card of the defendant. Good shit. Good shit, defense. Order. So that definitively confirms that Mr. Koyadera entered the server room. Correct, Your Honor. And what's more, there was no record of him leaving the room. This is irrefutable evidence proves that Max could not be responsible for the murder.
Objection.
Well, that's hardly the case. We've already been over this. Please recall the state of the crime scene when the police arrived. Max's ID card was found near the body. If he didn't return to the room until after a crowd had gathered, how would it have gotten there? A simple explanation can be used to fill the gaps. Clearly, it arrived much later after the incident had already taken place. It's certainly possible that the police grabbed it from the defendant and misplaced it during the investigation. After all, we can't see it anywhere in the crime scene photo due to the desk obscuring the body. We don't know the true state of the room. Could that really be all there is to it? No, my deduction must be correct. We can't just ignore the facts. If I let the court sway now, it could prove disastrous for my case. I gotta put an end to the defendant. I must put the defendant behind bars. Can't end like this. There's another option. Rada. Alright, it's obvious. How could I not have noticed it before? This fact is what allowed Max Koyadera to leave the server room undetected. Earlier we had learned that a power outage had affected the building at precisely 3:02 yesterday. Here's a question for you, Miss Flocking. Why is it that none of the records in the evidence you submitted show a time past 3:02 PM? Quite simply, if there was no power, the security system could not have recorded the ID cards passing through secure doorways. As such, the defendant had ample opportunity to return to the lab once the power went out. Stupid. Good heavens, you're right! I see. That's most unfortunate. That's it, Cross. Hit him where it hurts. Mr. Koyadera, did you leave the server room during the blackout?
Objection.
Very astute, Cross. It's true that we have no way of knowing the movements of our suspects after the power outage, but that doesn't mean Max is responsible for the murder. Miss Flocking, if you can't prove the defendant didn't enter the lab at 3:06, then we can't rule out the possibility. I'm aware of that, Your Honor. Rather than explaining how Mr. Koyadera wasn't able to kill the victim, the defense would like to prove how someone else was. To clarify, I believe I've narrowed it down quite precisely where our attention should be focused if we're going to be pointing fingers. Wait, you mean... you can name the culprit? The last piece of the puzzle is another list provided by the investigation team. This one matches the name of relevant individuals to their ID numbers and can be cross-referenced with the database from earlier. Alright, what do we got? As you can see, the discovery sheds some light on the state of our victim before her death. It opens up a whole new realm of possibilities. No way, that can't be true. Someone needs to explain this in a way the court can easily process. Why don't you do the honors, Cross? You should be able to understand what I'm implying, right? If this new list is accurate, then Flocking's culprit must be... Based on the list you just provided to the court, it seems that Abigail Graviton had entered the testing chamber at 3:02. In this same list, another ID number is shown to have entered the chamber at nearly the same time. The ID card it's linked to belongs to Ivy Field. Rabble. Well done. So you believe that just moments before her death, the victim was with Miss Field in the testing room? That's right, Your Honor. Ivy Field holds the one perspective we have yet to hear from this case, and it's arguably the most important. Because she was one of the last individuals to see Abigail alive. Yeah, you got a beat there. This is what Flocking's been building towards the whole time. She wants to pin the whole incident on Field. It appears that there's only one way to proceed. We must hear the truth of these events from Miss Field directly. Please prepare the witness for testimony. In the meantime, we will take a 10-minute recess to process the new development. Court is adjourned. Yeah. Loading. Alright, well, good luck, Field. You wanted to discuss something, right? What's this about? Our time's limited, so I'll make this brief. We both know Koyedera is innocent, so don't drag this out any longer. If you concede soon, we can wrap this up nicely with Field's arrest. You can't seriously expect me to comply, right? Do you know what it is that you're asking me to do right now? We have a duty to the court, to the justice system. And we'll fulfill that duty when Ivy Field's found to be guilty. We don't know what the outcome will be. Well, sure, you can tell yourself that, but I know you can see the truth, right? Nothing you've tried so far has actually stuck. Max wasn't responsible in pursuing the fantasies going to send an innocent man to prison. I haven't been able to prove the defendant was the only one with an opportunity to kill Abigail. Beyond that, I still have no idea how he could have committed the murder at all, considering the insane autopsy report. If I can offer some advice, once you come to your senses and realize what's really going on here, work with me to try fight the true enemy. What? Ross, the courtroom isn't the one place where we're allowed to pursue real justice. Everything we've done today, the battle over who truly killed Abigail Graviton, it means nothing if we can't expose the power behind it all. The real mystery hasn't even started yet. Looks like the time's up. Wait, I don't understand. What are you talking about? All will be revealed in due time. I'll make sure of it. Flocking's explanation is ominous at best, but the fact remains that she seems to want my help with whatever comes next. What could she mean by all that? Who's our true enemy? Even the effects of this trial reach far beyond the crime itself. I don't think anyone here is truly ready for what that implies. Okay, it's not over yet. I thought that was going to be the to be continued. Dun, dun, dun. Order. The trial of Max Koyedera will now resume. Miss Ivy Field has taken the stand and we're prepared to hear her testimony. So this is the person Flocking believes could be responsible for the murder. Certainly looks happy to be here. Looks fucking tweaked out of her mind. Miss Field, would like to ask you some questions about what happened yesterday. Please, call me Ivy. Alright then, Ivy. Is it true you were the last person to see Abigail Graviton alive? What? Hold on a minute, let's take this one step at a time. It's our understanding that you witnessed a few crucial events leading up to the incident involving Miss Graviton. We'd like you to verify a few things and lend us your perspective, being that you were supposedly in the Tactile Synthetic building at 3 p.m. Oh, okay. I can definitely help however I can, for science. Ivy, it seems like you're an employee of the Tactile Synthetics. Can you explain what it is you do for the company? Well, certainly. As you might know, Tactile Synthetic proudly boasts one of the country's leading operations in bioengineering. Our aim is to merge advancements in artificial intelligence with robotics that are meant to aid day-to-day life. Abby and Max are typically involved with machinery and chemical compounds, while I monitor the health and status of our patients. So, you're a nurse? Nope, I conduct research. We collect the data from our clients in order to better understand the link between human and machine. The robotic arm we've seen in the lab room is a prototype of an artificial limb. It could eventually replace someone's arm. And were you conducting research yesterday afternoon? Yeah, of course. That's my job. Where do you usually perform those duties? In another room down the hall from where the crime occurred. I'm sorry, I still can't believe that Abby is... I know it must be difficult, but could you recall the moments leading up to the 306? To 306 for the court? Yeah, I can do that. The science. First, I need you to confirm that you were in the hallway outside the lab room at precisely 3 p.m. yesterday. I can confirm it. I was there. Let's get the order correct here. With this, we should be able to verify who's lying. When you first arrived at the location roughly outside the lab, you should have seen this person waiting to enter. Dean Berrien. He had a package that was meant to be dropped off. Oh, well, no, I didn't see him waiting there. Are you sure that we can trust your testimony? But I'm not lying. He wasn't there when I first walked down that way. And a few minutes later, he showed up to say hello. I see. Do you remember which direction he came from? Well, just around the corner, I believe. He must have been waiting in the entrance lobby. It's possible Dean was simplifying his movements for the court, so it still lines up. Lobby was right at the end of the hallway, after all. Something isn't adding up about all this. Well, let's go with that for now. I'd like you to verify something else we learned earlier today. At 3 p.m. exactly, you should have seen this person leaving the lab. Max Coyadera. According to the previous testimony by the defendant, he had left to enter the server room. Did you witness this? Yes, I did. I appreciate the basic review, Cross, but what exactly does this prove? We can't trust her testimony at this point. Flocking's doing everything she can to minimize Field's credibility, but she actually be right in her deduction. Let's get back to the important questions. Cross, why don't you do the honors? Miss Field, did you see Abigail Graverton in the lab room yesterday afternoon? Okay, I can answer that. I didn't see her, I swear. I couldn't have.
Objection.
Then how can you explain the security records provided by Flocking? They list your ID card as having entered the room just after 3 p.m. and then entering the testing chamber with Abigail. Well, surely with such a small space, it would be impossible not to notice her. Well, that's ridiculous. Is that why I'm up here right now? There's a very good reason why the system recorded my ID number. It must be that someone stole my ID card yesterday. I noticed it was missing after the police showed up, and I was wondering where it could have gone. Now that you mention it, the security system, it's clear someone else is trying to frame me.
Objection.
Nice try, but we can't just take your word for it. You had ample time to dispose of your ID card and pretend that it was stolen before you were taken in for questioning. No, I swear I must have dropped it or something. Incorrect. I was informed by the investigation team that they've already scanned the building for rogue ID cards. Yours was nowhere to be found. Well, hold on, scanned? Well, yes, with this. Okay. Device that can detect ID cards we've been talking about? I'll explain why Flocking feels so confident about this. I'm not sure what to make of this. So what really happened when you encountered Abigail? Did you kill her? Apologies, everyone. I have more evidence from the crime scene to deliver. Oh, what excellent timing. The first item is a silver ring, which was found in the server room a short while ago. Okay. The second item is some sort of correspondence found in the victim's pocket. Letter. Seems ominous, but I can't quite understand what it's trying to say. You should know that some of the letter has been censored from the document. That's a relief, so it wasn't just me. If I can ask, was it already like this when the investigation team found it? They purposely obscure it for some unknown reason? My apologies, sir, but I got no idea. I should also know that this is the final update that will be received in the court. Final update? You mean that's all the investigation team will provide? That's correct, sir. Is there nothing left to uncover, or did something interfere with the search again? I can testify now. I'll clear everything up for science. This should be entertaining. Agreed. Very well, you may speak about your actions during yesterday's incident. Permission to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Granted. Please proceed. I started my day with some data entry on the computer in my office. I was very excited to get through the rest of my notes, but I needed to stretch my legs. At around 2:45, I started wandering the halls of the building, like I always do. I often see a lot of friends during my walks. Eventually, I made it to the space outside the lab where Abigail worked. It's hard to see through the tinted windows of the doorway, but I could see her working in her room. It was always so busy. I saw Max leave the room to go next door, and our usual delivery man appeared right after that. That was around 3 p.m. Does that make sense? I guess so. I guess it checks out. I left immediately to get back to my office, but a power outage left the room in the darkness. I waited there hoping that everything was okay. Thankfully, around 5 minutes later, the lights came back on, and I was able to continue my data entry. It was only later I heard the commotion outside and learned that something happened to Abby. I was so close to where it happened. I could have helped her. So you still deny entering the testing chamber? Yeah, if my ID was recorded entering the room, it must have been someone that stole my card, like the true killer. And the way to prove otherwise at this point, so I'll just have to find something else wrong with her testimony. I'll uncover the truth of what really happened at the Tactile Synthetics lab.
Find the truth.
Objection.
Yeah, isn't that way too early for the lights to come on? From what I understand, the outage occurred at 3:02, so you returned to work by this time, right? Yeah? But by your timeline, a mere 5 minutes after 3:02 was when the lights returned and your computer started working again. But that can't be correct, because the system report claims that the power was out for 10 minutes. But I... Tell the truth, Miss Field, did you lie to this court? Hey, it was just a simple mistake, okay? I messed up the exact duration of the outage, but my statement still stands. My work is just so important to the company that I tend to lose track of time. Getting back to my computer was one of the utmost importance to continue my research. That's why they made my office a secure room.
Objection.
Well, hold on, a secure room? Well, if that's the case, then how did you even enter your office in the first place? What? Well, you testified just moments ago that you didn't have your ID card on you, right? It would have been impossible for you to get back to work. Fine. sorry for deceiving you all.
Tread lightly, Miss Field. My patience is running low for an accurate testimony.
He always says that, but somehow the perjury just keeps coming.
Mr. Cross, please cross-examine her revised statements.
Gladly, Your Honor. Alright, I just have to clarify what happened when the lights went out. I was actually still in the hallway when the power outage started, and remained there for a few minutes so that I wouldn't trip on anything. Then the sound of something falling inside the lab room startled me. I opened the front door to take a look inside without actually entering the room. It was dark, but I could see through enough to know something was wrong. I saw Abby lying there behind the desk. I thought she had fallen and hit her head. It was only later that when I found out how bad things were. I didn't waste any time. I ran down the hall looking for someone to help. A few minutes later, I ran into a group of colleagues who were discussing the power outage. By the time I calmed down and explained what happened, the lights were back and we were able to call for medical help. We returned to the lab room, but by that point it was already too late. We were all in shock and more people showed up to offer comfort. I didn't see anyone else in the room when I first found Abby, but the killer must have been there, hiding. My fault they got away. I can't believe it. You saw the victim's body after she was killed. Yeah, there's no way the true culprit could have gotten far because I opened the door mere moments after I heard the sound. I couldn't handle the fact I didn't spot them or check on Abby sooner. I thought if I lied on the witness stand, then maybe I wouldn't suffer the judgment of everyone who thinks I'm a coward.
Objection.
Oh, this is madness. You admit to lying before, and we're just supposed to believe you now? I want to be fair, isn't that how it normally goes? You didn't see any culprit because you're responsible for the murder, right? No, not at all. Think about the evidence against you, Miss Field. The passage record demonstrates that your ID card entered the lab at 3:01 p.m., and you had ample time to make your escape before the outage ended at 3:12. You pretended to get help from your colleagues so that they wouldn't suspect you as the true killer. Flocking has a point. Lines up exactly with the rest of her testimony. And now you want to claim that you committed perjury because you didn't want people to have a bad opinion of you? It's all too convenient.
Be that as it may, Miss Flocking, we cannot hand down a verdict based on convenience alone. You must prove your claims with evidence. Mr. Cross, if you would please proceed.
Right, Your Honor. Whether or not Ivy's guilty, there's still something very wrong with her testimony. And to show this inconsistency to the court and reveal the truth. Yep. Alright. That's fine, I think. You open the front door to take a look inside without actually entering the room. Well, they would need an ID card to enter, right? Or does it just... Wait, surely you see the knife, right?
Objection!
Or was it too dark? So you claim to have seen Miss Graviton behind the desk at around 3:06 p.m. That's right, is something wrong with the statement? Well, there certainly is. According to what you said, you thought that Abby had hit her head or something, causing the noise you heard. You might be able to explain away the blood due to the dark environment, but something you can't possibly have missed is the knife that was clearly sticking out of her chest. Wow, wow. That's... You claimed that despite the power outage, you could still make out Abigail's silhouette. If that's the case, why didn't you notice the weapon that was embedded in her torso? Why didn't you already know that the murder was committed? But I just... I passed out. Wait, when? As soon as I heard that loud noise while I was outside the lab. It was an ominous day and I was scared. I was shocked that I fell to the ground. So, are you saying that you didn't look into the lab room while the power was out? Yeah, that's right. Fucking sick of lies, man.
Order, Miss Field? What did I tell you about inaccurate testimony?
I'm sorry, everyone. I couldn't bear the guilt of being so weak. I passed out in the hallway, and when I woke up, I had to run for it. I met up with my colleagues and pretended like Abby needed help. Actually, thinking back on it, I can't even be sure that the power was out when I first fell to the ground. All I know is that when I woke up, it was dark. Wait, so it's possible that you were out before the power outage even started? I don't know. My memory's hazy in the moments leading up to that. I hit my head on the ground or something. I don't know what's happened to that. And do you still believe the noise you heard was the victim falling? No, definitely not. It came from much further away. Some sort of crash or rumble. I don't know. What matters is that the rest of my testimony was accurate, right? Yeah, sure, if you knew literally the most important part of it being fake. I'm sorry, I just had to make something up. For science. We're gonna kill this lady.
Well, that was rather unhelpful. Bailiff, please escort Miss Field off the stand. We need to prepare for additional investigation of the crime scene.
Wait, hold on. I may not have any information about what happened yesterday, but I can at least share something important. After all this time, can we really trust what she's about to tell us? You should know about the reason why I was so scared yesterday. That same morning, Abby warned me about some sort of threat. It was as if she knew something terrible was going to happen. I believe she knew she was going to be murdered.
Okay, that's pretty big. I'll give you that.
Is that so? What could she possibly have said that would imply such a thing? Well, she mentioned being in contact with some sort of organization that supposedly sponsored some of our work. But I believe there's more to it than that. Over the years, I've learned that the name of this group, they must be up to no good. They're called the Nexus Division.
It's ND in the note.
Nexus Division? Does that mean... I'm positive the organization is somehow involved in her death.
After your previous testimony, it's hard to accept that in good faith. Is there anything that you could do to substantiate your claim?
Actually, I think there is. This piece of evidence will provide a connection between the victim and Nexus Division. The letter that was provided by the investigation team. I have suspicion that it's relevant to what you're talking about.
Relevant, you say? How so?
Well, it's some sort of communication from a superior, I suspect. That's why it talks about new orders to follow. And at the end, the initials ND are mentioned. Could it be... I'd have to agree with the prosecution on this. It's far too suspicious to overlook. Really now? This is sounding a bit contrived. Proving a connection between the victim and his obscure group on initials alone would be quite far-fetched. It is strange for Flocking to take my side on something like this, so could it be what she was talking about during the recess? If so, then I must learn more. But if we're going to go down this path, we're going to do it my way. Well, if we assume the letter was referring to the Nexus Division, it would imply that Abigail herself was a member of the group and would be promoted soon. If that's the case, then I see two possibilities on how they could be involved with a murder. First is that they're directly responsible and wanted to eliminate her for some reason we haven't discovered yet. Well, the second is that some third party hoped to kill her because of her involvement with the ND. Alright, Cross, I can see where you're going with this. I believe it would help us to get some context on the organization. I know just the person who can testify about that. Someone who has first-hand experience with the influence. Dean Barrion.
Dean Barrion? This is all too much for me to comprehend. A mysterious organization that could be involved with the murder of Abigail Graviton. One that she's also affiliated with in some way. I'll allow this witness to speak, but given that we are short on time, this is the last testimony I will allow today. Bailiff, prepare the stand.
You said this would be a slam dunk, Conrad, you liar.
By now, most of you have likely heard about the situation unfolding in our city's library. It is with a heavy heart that I must announce that civilian casualties have been confirmed as of several minutes ago. What? If anyone in the audience wishes to verify the safety of a family member, the courtroom staff is prepared to assist you. Wait, what just happened? I heard about the police activity near the park this morning, but I never expected things would get this bad. Regardless, our duty to the justice system remains, and we must continue the trial. Mr. Baryon, it is our understanding that you have information on a group called the Nexus Division that the victim was connected to. Please testify what you know so we can all go home in peace. I have no idea why Flocking thought he might have answers, but we should see where this goes before dismissing it. Dean and the Division. No.
Objection.
What do you mean, no? I don't know anything about this group you're talking about. I'm just a delivery man. I make deliveries. Wrong. I have it on good authority that you were directly involved with something that the Division was trying to accomplish. If that was true, there's no way hell, you could prove it. No, it's going nowhere. I need to come up with a strategy that can get him to talk. Well, Mr. Baryon, I wanted to ask you about your schedule from 2 days ago. Huh? Well, yeah, you heard me. The day before yesterday was Saturday, and I wanted to know what you were doing that time. Also, come to think of it, why were you delivering a package on a Sunday anyway? Well, the company I work for operates independently of the U.S. Postal Service, and we still dispatch posters on weekends, or porters. I was working both days. Both Saturday and Sunday. Would you happen to have delivered a package to the Tactile Synthetic building on Saturday? Yeah, what of it? What are you getting at, Cross? Is it relevant to the case at hand? Yeah, Byron was at the lab the day before the incident, and it's quite possible this could line up perfectly. A bit of a stretch, but it's all we've got. Cross, no need to slam your desk when you're not even saying anything. Screw your eardrums. I got proof that there's a connection between our witness and the organization the victim was involved in. The only one bursting eardrums will be me when I swing my gavel. The prosecution will present the proof that Dean Baryon is somehow linked to the Nexus Division. Mr. Baryon, the letter which was found in the victim's pocket described a delivery made to her operation area on March 10th. What? Is it possible that the operation area is in fact the Tactile Synthetics building? And were you the one who carried out the delivery? No, was it me? You can't prove that. Oh, we can take a look at the records from the company you work at, and that will clear this all up. They must have databases we can reference. If you refuse to acknowledge the relevance of the letter to your schedule, then what exactly were you delivering on Saturday? It was, just the usual equipment, I'm afraid we're gonna need more details than that. Alright, fine. You know that piece of tape you were so caught up on before? The one we found in the testing chamber. Yeah, that's the one. It's from the package I delivered on Saturday. Is that so? The lab has enough trust in me to unload the equipment without any assistance. So on March 10th, I placed the package on the metal table in the testing chamber and ripped open the tape that sealed it.
Objection!
There's no way that's possible. Huh? Why not? Well, you claim to have done this all in the testing chamber without supervision, but if that's true, then how did you enter the room in the first place without a Tactile Synthetic ID card? No! We've come to learn that the testing chamber is a secure room, which means that the ID card is required to pass through the doorway. Being that you're not an employee of Tactile Synthetics, I find it hard to believe that you could have been in that room without one. My goodness, you're right! Witness, you must explain yourself at once. You make me sad. I'm sad, Judge, now. I can't. I won't say anything further. Tell the truth or face the consequences. The consequences are far worse if I do.
Something feels off. From what we learned so far, Max's whereabouts, Dean's work schedule, Ivy's mishap, and Abigail's connection to the Nexus Division. It all has to come together now. I may never get another shot at this. So with that restriction, there must be a way to remedy this entire situation. There has to be a way to discover the true culprit. Graviton was the first to arrive, then Koidera. Sometime later, he left to enter the server room. Arian was seen coming from the lobby according to Ivy Field. We're not sure where he went next. Shortly after the lights went out, Ivy collapsed in the hallway. But we can't be sure which of those happened first. The passage record shows that the ID cards belonging to Abby and Ivy moved into the testing chamber at 3:02. So then, is it possible that while Ivy was asleep... There are two reasons why someone would have needed an ID card to get into the testing chamber. First is they didn't have one of their own. The second is that they wanted to frame someone else using the security system. In either case, if Ivy was lying unconscious in the hallway at 3 p.m., then her card would have been easily stolen. After thinking about the case as a whole and this new information, there are two individuals who I believe are the most likely suspects. The first is someone who would have needed an ID card to enter the testing chamber and is linked to the victim via the Nexus Division. Dean Barian, the only person in this case who doesn't work for Tactile Synthetics. That's just absurd! Oh, save it, I'm not finished yet. The other suspect, someone who would have wanted to hide their identity by utilizing Ivy Field's ID card instead of their own, is... Max Koidera, the defendant. It's possible that he re-entered the lab using Ivy's ID card and led the victim into the testing chamber before the lights went out. Nonsense. If that's the case, why didn't the server room record an exit from the defendant at 3 p.m.? Simple. He only had to open the door and toss his ID card inside without entering it himself. That would have fooled the system. There's no way. That if Ivy really was passed out in the hallway, he could have easily taken her ID card while she was unconscious and used it as his own. I hate to say it, but it also seems entirely possible based on our understanding of yesterday's events. However, we must adhere only to the facts. Agreed. What evidence do you have that can prove it was the suspect instead of the other? Or we could just lock them both up. Without knowing who took Ivy's card, I won't get anywhere. So the only option that remains is to solve that mystery myself. One of these two suspects used Ivy Field's ID card on the day of the incident, and it's quite likely the one it's quite likely that whoever's behind the theft. Sorry, let me calm down a bit. I'm getting very tired. Must be responsible for the murder as well. We make that assumption that the investigation team didn't find her card because it's no longer in the lab building. Then there's only one possibility for where it ended up. This piece of evidence will reveal who the culprit really is. Flocking, do you remember how the investigation team searched for the rogue ID cards at the scene of the crime? You mean with the scanning device? That's right, if the investigation team has it on hand, we could use it to search for the Ivy's missing card. I see, but where do you intend to look? Easy, must be in the possession of one of our two suspects. Both Max and Dean were immediately questioned by the police following the incident, so there would have been no time to hide the card. Well, no time to hide it any further than where the investigation team has already scanned for it. So if that's the case, it could be in this very room. In the culprit's pocket. Bailiff, please scan the witness using the device. Why didn't he get rid of it? This feels like a no-brainer. I don't think he was arrested. Oh, hold on a minute. Well, that's it. That's Ivy Field's ID card. This is unbelievable. What are you saying? That's wrong. You have it all wrong. You can't believe him.
Objection.
And why not? You've clearly stolen something from an employee of Tactile Synthetics. There's only one reason why. It seems there's nowhere left for you to run, you repulsive terrorist. Damn. You can't be serious. You can't know about that. What's happening here? Is this the answer to Flocking's cryptic warning from yesterday?
Order? We must have order. Mr. Cross, if you intend to implicate Mr. Barron, then we must hear the full story. How could he have been responsible for the crime?
The root of this mystery, the method of the murder still eludes us. But right now, all the pieces of the puzzle are lining up. Point to Dean Barron. He must be the culprit. If I keep pushing hard enough, everything should fall into place. Well, very well. I'll demonstrate to the court how this murder was committed. Please bring the scenario markers to the center of the room. Prosecution will now demonstrate the precise moment the victim perished using evidence we've collected from the scene. During a demonstration, my goal is to align the clues I've encountered in such a way that the judge can clearly see the timeline of events. Several markers have been placed to indicate the position of the victim, the culprit's weapon. Well, this certainly is interesting. Can I ask what the point of the table is? Well, it's there to replicate the state of the testing chamber on March 11th. What leads you to believe the crime occurred there? Wasn't the victim found in the lab room? There are two reasons to suspect this is the true location of Abigail's death. The first is the security room records show her entering the room. The second is the piece of tape that was found in the testing chamber, which matches the type of tape Dean's delivery company uses. Since our witness here claims the tape fell off on March 10th, which was impossible due to security requirements, it likely arrived on March 11th. The day that we know that he had Ivy's ID card in his possession. I can't be certain, but it's definitely working out that way as well. If I'm wrong, the setup could easily apply somewhere else in the lab. Crucially, some sort of table must have been behind the victim.
Very well. I'm curious to see how you'll explain it. Proceed with the demonstration.
Yes, Your Honor. For this demonstration, I should walk to each important spot in this recreation and present the evidence that belongs there. I can move by pressing WASD, and I can change the camera with the mouse or joystick. Oh good, oh good. Alright, time to get to work. Let me move. I'm moving. Anything you have to say to me, Max? Nah, that'd be a waste. A waste of what? I'm not sure. Just ran out of nouns. Seems like you handle it much better than I expected. I'll let you do the rest for me. Oh, thanks, buddy. What's wrong, Cross? Are you looking for help? No, I was just checking up on you. If you had asked about our little chat from earlier, don't bother. Save it until after the truth of the matter actually comes to light. In the meantime, I don't mind giving you a little assistance, if you really need it. I'm good. That's kind of you, but I think I'll survive without it. Suit yourself. Let me get back to it. Better hurry up, then. Wouldn't want the judge to get any more impatient today. That looks like he needs to take a nap. I need to take a nap. Where's Bouncy Ball Man? Is he okay? Oh, don't go that way. There are monsters that way. Yeah, monsters and demons. No, we absolutely must not go that direction. I want to see the monsters. Marker represents something that the culprit was holding. Based on what we know about the crime scene, it should be... a knife. It was being used to threaten the victim. I see, so that's where you're going with this. This is one crucial piece of the puzzle I think we all could have expected. Now, it should be obvious. I need to solidify this for the sake of the demonstration. The victim of this crime was...
Abigail.
Abigail Graviton. She's the one that died. Yippee! The fuck? Yippee! I think we already know that, Cross. Yeah, right. I'm confirming it. Alright, calm down. Very well, it's confirmed. People in the audience are so scary, might as well be T-pose. I think they're very powerful, personally. I like being judged by the council. What do we got here? The table was behind the victim at the moment of her death. I know something must go here to replicate the conditions of the scene. So what was it? The decisive clue that will tie the whole thing together. I have? An electromagnet. What, did he just magnet the fucking, like, Magneto send the knife into her? That's it, this is the answer we've been looking for. The package that Dean Barron was carrying had been placed on the table. Good catch, Cross. This is inferred by the piece of tape, right? Weren't you the one dismissing the tape not too long ago? Yeah, but more importantly, it was necessary for the culprit's plan. It'll become clear soon why this was a crucial part of the method of murder. You fucking go-go gadget knifed her. I covered it already. The culprit must be Dean Baryon. Dean Baryon, you're the one responsible. Yeah, think what you like, it's not true. I think the court will see your lie quite easily once all this comes together. That's everything. When I'm ready to continue, I should inspect the prosecutor's bench so I can review the state of the scene. And to finally expose Dean's true nature to the world. Fucking Magneto'd him. Unfortunate. I already seen this dialogue. Get out of my face. Oh, actually, oh no, hold on. Fuck. They said prosecutor. I'm so used to Ace Attorney. I went to her desk. Get away from me. They proceed with the demonstration now. Yes. Alright, I think it's time to end this. People of the court, I'd like to ask you to draw your attention towards these markers that we've used to replicate the testing chamber. Shortly after Max Koyedera left the lab, Ivy Field passed out in the hallway. While she was unconscious, Dean Baryon approached from the lobby and used this opportunity to steal her ID card. Because he was not an employee of the Tactile Synthetics, he could not have known that no ID card was necessary to pass through the doorway that day. Importantly, he carried a package that had not been opened yet through this entire ordeal. Dean entered the lab room and found Abigail working there. Shocked, he must have come up with some excuse, which I will assume had to do with the delivery. Under the pretense of unwrapping the package, he convinced Miss Graviton to escort him to the testing chamber. This room was perfect for carrying out his plan because it was secluded and required identification to enter. For some reason we can't fully comprehend, he was determined to kill her. With that dark purpose burning in his heart, he placed the package on the table and opened it up. This is the moment of truth. Inside the package rested supposed lab equipment, a powerful magnet that could be activated with the press of a button. Must have activated it without Abigail noticing. I will now replicate the action. Oh my, everyone, hold on to your wallets. Watch this shit. Just as I thought, the electromatic takes some time to fully power on and didn't even make a sound when I pressed the button. Ugh. Now that everything was in place, he quickly turned and pulled out that knife. He switched places with the victim in such a way that her back was facing the package he had just opened. By this point, the lights would have gone out, but that didn't matter for his plan. Because the electromatic was battery-powered. What they talked about in those last few minutes, we may never know. But what we do know is that at precisely 3:06 p.m., the magnet activated and the knife flew straight at the victim with an insanely high velocity. Skadoosh. My god, you nearly killed him. No. How? Though I didn't want to believe it, that my deduction was wrong. No way that Max Koyedera was the culprit. Not with that look on Barion's face. You little... As a result, I may lose this trial to flocking. The defendant will be declared innocent. If that's the price I have to pay for proper justice, then I'll accept defeat. The prosecution's demonstration is complete. Though everyone's fate is surely sealed by this point, I have a feeling we're not quite done yet. After all, Flocking's warning, the reason why Barion wanted to kill Abigail. There's too much at stake to simply call it quits now. Fortunately, this is just a demo. Has to end somewhere, so disregard that last statement. Damn. Pretty good demo. I can definitely see improvement, though I think the mystery and the case structure could definitely do some work again. I could probably give a better review, but I'm very sleepy, so I cannot give as accurate of a review as I would want. When I stepped into the courtroom today, I never would have imagined that things would turn out like this. What does it mean to be a prosecutor when you're destined to fail? Do you fight against the truth, or do you give in and accept defeat? If Nail was here, I might be able to ask him the question. So much I still need to learn from him. Instead, I've had to learn those answers myself, and I feel certain about what comes next. There's a world of mysteries out there that need to be solved. The conclusion of the Koyedera trial will be the beginning of a larger conflict. I've only scratched the surface on what's to come, and I'm going to need every advantage I can get to become an attorney Nail wanted me to be. But I'm not alone. Someone can still help me face challenges ahead. That person is you, the player. So will you help me? I might check it out. I might have to take a look because there's a lot of heart in it. I still think that the writing and the mystery elements of it could use a little work. There's a lot of weird stuff that happened in that case there that I'm not a big fan of, and I'm just not super sold on the character writing, but it is a definite improvement over Burden of Proof. That was this is a very clear improvement. I'm very happy for the dev to be getting better and better every time. But I'm sleepy. I'm very sleepy. So we're gonna start wrapping this up now. My little mistakes. We're gonna do something. We're gonna throw you to people. People can get thrown. Like throwing people. We're gonna throw you over to our good friend Yoons, because Yoons is great. And I love you. They're wonderful. They're very kind. But that will not save them for the coming days of strife and agony that will befall all of us in the end of times. So, for now, go over there, give them some love, give them some hustle, give them some respect. They're playing, what are they playing? They're playing Played Up. It's been a while. No, Played Up is different than what I'm thinking of Overcooked. I liked Overcooked quite a bit. So, I'm gonna throw you over to them. Go show them some love, give them some hustle, give them some loyalty, give them all that good stuff I usually tell them to give, but I almost forgot to tell you. They quality mistakes. And see, I didn't even swear at you this time. Just kidding, get the fuck out of here.